He's got the mountain face.
The mountain face.
Yeah, like I'm not saying his face looks like a mountain, but
Right.
he's from the mountains.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
he's got that mountain face for sure.
Mountain
you know,
face.
he's got those heavy eyebrow ridges,
Okay.
that sloping forehead. You know,
Okay.
got those
Mountain folk or special folk? I identify a lot with like mountain folk, but I'm definitely not from the mountains.
Right. And I don't mean to pick on mountain folks. What I'm implying is that this guy comes from the type of town that has a lottery, not the kind where you win money. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Light Roast. It is Tuesday, March 23rd. I'm your host, Damian Turner.
I'm Jason Jones.
And we're hanging out. We're getting a little bit of a slow start today.
A little bit.
Because we're tired. I'm so tired.
Yeah, I'm dragging too, man.
Dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, we both had weird nights and mornings.
Mm-hmm.
I had to take a relative to go get his butt movie made.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah, they had to make
Colonoscopy.
Sure, if you want to get all fucking nerdy about it. If you want to be a dork about it.
We can be adults about it.
I was being an adult. He had a
A butt movie.
He had a film produced
Yeah.
of the inside of his butt.
I like that.
It had a butt movie.
Yeah.
It was a medical butt movie, but it was
Sure.
still a butt movie.
Yeah.
You know?
That's fair.
Yeah.
Cool.
So I woke up at 3:30 to take him.
Right.
Yep, there, and then wait in my car for 3 hours and sleep a little bit.
Oh my god, that's never comfortable.
No, I mean, some cars are like comfortable enough.
Some are better than others.
Some are better than others. I found out that my car is others. Is what I found.
Others.
Yeah.
I think that'll fit on a license plate.
Will it?
Yeah.
OTHER. Yeah, just
Yeah.
perfectly. Just others. Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm othered enough in this society. You know?
I get it.
Yeah, that was terrible. I feel bad about that because it wasn't really a joke, but it came off like it was supposed to be a joke. And if it's not a joke, it's just like, thanks for reminding us of that sad fact. You're welcome. You're welcome, audience. You can always count on me to bring you down at just the right moment.
Yeet.
I got this real quick. I'm rocking my Laughing Skull shirt today because I'm
like it a
going
lot.
to. Yeah, it's a cool design. It's the one they did not last year because no one did anything last year, but the year before for 2019. This was their festival design.
Cool.
Which I really dug. Kind of like Andy Warhol print kind of feel to it.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, and that was the year that I was on just as a guest. I didn't have like a feature spot, but I was on as a guest, so I was happy about that. But they are back open with full 20 seat capacity.
Hey, that's cool.
Yeah, I mean they're only
It can be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's already a very intimate club. It's an 80-seat club.
Yeah,
And very
true.
small, which is why they can only have 20 people
True.
in it
Yeah.
right now. But I'm cool with that, man.
Right.
Just, I'm just happy to get back out there in a safe enough way. And,
Right.
hey, if it's just 20 people I can tell jokes to, then all right, I'm going to make those 20 people.
Do you have to sign up, like reserve a spot ahead of time, or is it like first come, first serve? How does that work?
You buy the tickets online, I believe. So actually, if you go to LaughingSkullLounge.com, I'm sure they've got tickets on sale there. That's always how they do it.
Sweet.
Yeah. So yeah, get them before they're gone. I'm going to be there Friday and Saturday. If you're in the Atlanta area, you know where it is. It's if you don't know where it is, it's on Peachtree in Midtown. It's actually inside the Vortex. It's in the back, behind the bathrooms. It's a very interesting setup, but it's a cool spot. It's a real cool spot.
It's on the actual Peachtree.
Yes.
The main Peachtree.
Peachtree Street.
Peachtree proper.
Yes, proper Peachtree. Which is, okay, this is a funny thing. So, for people who don't know this, there's like 18 streets in Atlanta named Peachtree.
At least.
At least.
Yeah.
At least. There's Peachtree, West Peachtree, Peachtree Industrial Boulevard.
Yep.
There's Peachtree Parkway. Like, there's so many Peachtree.
All of
Peachtree Road, Peachtree Drive.
Peachtree Battle.
Yep. Yep, and Peachtree Battle. It's ridiculous, and the funny thing about that is there's so much shit named Peachtree in the Atlanta area, and Georgia's the peach state, and so people think, okay, there's peach trees all over Atlanta, right? No, peach trees actually don't really grow that much here. They're not particularly indigenous to this part of Georgia.
Not North Georgia.
Yeah,
mid and like South Georgia, they grow pretty well.
South Georgia, Florida, Florida, you get a lot of peach trees.
Yeah, fruit trees.
Yeah, the peach trees, orange trees, mango trees.
Yep.
We used to eat fresh mangoes right off the tree for breakfast at work.
Florida's got some avocados too.
Avocados, yep. Yep. Lots of aloe. That's going down a different road. But there's all sorts of, edible and usable vegetation in Florida.
In California, they grow the avocados and the toast on the same trees. Now you can just...
That's right.
Yeah, you can be a full-on hipster.
Those Monsanto engineered
hipster
avocado toast trees that only they don't even grow avocados and toast. That's a misconception. They actually just grow avocado toast.
That's what it grows. Right. It's like pre-spread.
It's like infused with the bread.
I like that.
Yeah. It's a hybrid. It's not
as messy.
It's kind of like Brussels sprouts. They're a little intense. Right? It's a whole lot. It's like a whole avocado, but in one little bread piece.
What are they doing intense?
All sorts of things you don't want to know about.
Man.
Yeah, bad things. Well, a lot of, especially in California, they're doing everything intense now. Like half
the shit's burnt.
Yeah, like half of California.
Sorry, California.
Well, not just because it's burnt down, but also because like everybody lost their homes, and it's Gavin Newsom. He did it for you.
Well, one of that
not single-handedly.
Yeah, exactly.
He just kind of fumbled all the opportunities to
There's
help.
the one company out there that like really can be tracked down for can be to blame for quite a bit of destruction the last year or two. That power company, was it PG&E or something?
Oh yeah, PG&E, evil bastards.
Fuck, man.
Evil
they
bastards.
Clearly ignored some really obvious safety concerns and power grid concerns, and a bunch of people,
Dude, I'm an idiot.
Been put in some shitty places.
I'm such an idiot.
What's up?
I am recording audio now. That's what's up. Oh man. Well, I've got that in here.
I'm just kidding.
I mean, it's happening now. It's playing right now. But I have it muted now because I'm smart. Except I'm still an idiot.
Do the intro again.
I'm telling you, No. Well, hey, it's the light roast. I forgot to start recording. What's up? It's Tuesday, March 23rd still, and it's late in the afternoon because we're pretty beat. And all right. It's gonna be a good show.
Let's have a French person on and do a French roast.
Just a French. Are we gonna roast the French person, like just for being French? We're gonna be. Are we gonna be those Americans and be like, look, we saved your ass. And
nobody is safe.
What War? What? Which one? World War I? Which I don't even know which one. But isn't that the classic? Hey, look, Frenchie.
They're
not French fries. They're freedom fries.
War, they originally gave us our original freedom. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And there was the French and Indian War.
Yeah, Marquis de Lafayette was one of the key people.
Right.
Situation.
That's right. Not current events, but just events. We're just talking about. We're shifting. This is now the historical roast, where we're going to talk about old wars. Like old guys.
Dead folks.
Yeah.
They're not safe either.
No.
Did you make fun of a dead guy?
No one's Yeah.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, but you can't make fun of dead guys. You can accuse them of crimes, but you can't make fun of them. That's not okay. Oh well, except for Rush Limbaugh. I saw a joke. I saw a joke about Rush Limbaugh. I forget who said it. Somebody on Twitter was like, I want to give congratulations to Rush Limbaugh for 1 month of sobriety.
Oh. Yes.
I was like, this joke wins. I don't know what it wins, but it wins. It wins hard. That's mean.
That's amazing.
That's low. And if you were to ask me, I would say, like, don't ever celebrate the death of someone, even a deplorable, horrible person, it's still, if I would tell you what my base moral on that is yeah, probably not, but Rush Limbaugh.
I mean, where does Hitler fall in that category?
I mean, it's easy to wish him dead in hindsight. You know what I mean?
Celebrate the death. Yeah,
celebrate. So it's like,
I don't know. Who's actually celebrating their death? Like, I don't think people are really doing that.
You can celebrate their removal from the world. Like, I'm glad they're no longer a thing. Yeah. But I'm not like, yeah, fucking, I'm glad you ate shit. You bet, you know, like,
That tends to honor those people more than it tends to actually bring down the idea of them further. The best thing to do is to let something just fucking disappear.
Just let it die.
Yeah, let it die, and like it you know.
Like, what's his name? Donner.
Oh, I forget.
That wig guy.
Yeah.
What's his fuckface? What's his name?
Exactly.
Yeah. Exactly.
I don't remember. Who cares?
You know who cares is fucking Q Shaman. That guy cares.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Although I don't know how much he cares now.
Yeah. What's the update with him?
He's still in jail.
Yeah.
Yep.
Is he still getting organic chicken?
What a wuss. Like, and isn't that funny? Like, the kind of people who, like, he's the kind of person who would call people, like, soy boys and shit. You know what I mean?
Snowflakes and
cucks and, like, yeah. And probably F words and stuff, too. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Fucking dickhead. But, like, he's like, I've got to have my organic chicken because I'm a shaman. Like, no, you're not. Fucking shaman.
Nah.
First of all, you were in the Navy. Generally, if you're talking about indigenous tribes, it depends on who you're talking about, but generally those were different roles.
Right.
Played by different people. If you were a shaman, you were likely not a warrior because you were the shaman.
Yeah. That's right.
You were kind of protected in that way.
Yeah, you were like back in the medicine tent.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, you were you were the doctor. You're not out there fucking swinging a sword or an axe or some shit. Like, no, you're back in the village helping people out.
Yeah, right. You go out and you like bless the battlefield the morning before and shit, and you go away. You know.
And then you come and collect the dead and say a few words, and then you go back home.
That's right.
And like eat some mushrooms or something.
Yeah, you're generally dissociated from the public. Group activity.
Well, you're kind of exempt from the normal societal rules.
Yeah, exactly. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep, that's right.
Yeah, the same could be.
But they often like don't participate.
Not
actively.
in the same way.
He's showing up, chanting and shit, and it's just like, dude, there's nothing about what you're doing. That's
just another case of a fucking of the pastiest of white boys, of taking ripping off somebody else's shit and calling it culture. And no, just because Nordic people had their equivalent of shamans doesn't mean you can be a fucking shaman. You're not Norse either. You maybe have some Norse background, but you're an American.
There's also very little evidence that they wore horned helmets like that. Very little evidence, if any. Maybe it's a suggestion, and it's like a small group that maybe did it.
Maybe when they went a Viking.
Yeah, exactly.
But that wasn't everybody. It was like certain people did that. Like, they weren't all Vikings.
Right.
They were just Nordic people.
Right.
And man, if you talk to people who are really into like Nordic traditions and mythology and stuff like that, like they're like, no, man, don't associate your stupid racist shit with us. Like, that has nothing to do. Like, do you know that band Heilung?
Oh yeah.
Oh, dude. Like, they started figuring out that the neo-Nazis and shit were getting into them, and they were like, no. That's not what this is about. Like, this is like dedicated to indigenous traditions everywhere.
I came across that recently, and I am attracted to that imagery and
me too.
The sound, and I actually Melissa and I had a good discussion about this in the context of appropriation. All right, and this was just like 3 days ago.
Right,
and we feel like they do seem to be honoring something. They don't seem to be just putting it on like just to make money.
No.
It definitely seems like there's an honest expression there, And I've watched some of their interviews, and I've watched them talk about it and how they've actually gone back and they're like really studying these old languages to learn them.
Yeah.
They're learning about the culture. It really doesn't feel like they're doing. Let me ask you this: it doesn't feel like they're doing some heavy appropriating in a way that.
It doesn't to me either. It feels honest.
It feels honest, and I don't know how to explain it yet. But let me ask you this. Is it mainly because like, is it possible that we're giving them some space mainly because the group is just like an old group of white people and that they're generally mimicking their style after? It's mostly northern European settlement type of groups, you know, Nordics and Swedes and, you know, Vikings and shit like that. And maybe there's just not enough people to really be that offended by that,
right?
to do that, where maybe we're just like, yeah, whatever.
Well, I think, I mean, Heilung, if I'm not incorrect, I mean, they're a European band, right?
Yeah.
So, well, I mean, I think it's partly that they're drawing from their, you know, their own heritage, right?
Potential, but we don't even know if that's actually their heritage or not, I guess.
Right.
Does that matter?
It has that feel to it, like I don't know if you know what is it? A Tribe Called Red. Do you know that group?
For some reason, my brain heard Quest, but you said Red.
Yeah.
No, I don't know that.
Oh, they're interesting. It's you know, American indigenous group.
All right.
But it's like, you know, First Nation tribal rhythms, but like mixed in with like hip hop. So they've done tracks with Mos Def, or now Yasin Bey, and Saul Williams, and few other like conscious rappers. And yeah, you know, they'll wear tribal headwear and dress and paint and all that stuff, and do chants and things like that. But it doesn't feel cheesy, because it's, you know, you feel the ownership of it and you feel the deep connection to a long tradition. And I get that feeling with Heilung also, and I think people pick up on that. So I think that's kind of the conclusion we came to. It's like, I think if you really are presenting it in a way that can show people that you're really doing it a service by honoring it, and that you're not just sort of like, for instance, if Heilung all of a sudden, like in the middle of one of their songs, like this DJ like fucking scribbled the fucking turntables, and then it turned into this like dubstep beat, I'd be like, get the fuck off the stage. Yeah, like,
fuck you, right?
I mean, but even like,
but that's not what they're doing.
And that's not even to say that like necessarily that specific style blend is like automatic grounds for dismissal. It's but it's about how you do it
somehow.
There's a way that it can be done that does cheapen it. Like, I kind of feel this way about it, and some of you are going to be mad with me about this. I kind of feel this way about Beats Antique. I'm kind of like,
okay,
fucking
all right.
Okay, all like right. It's cool. It's fun music. It's, you know, but I feel like they're like, oh yes, we're very deep, and we're so Indian.
Oh my god,
we're Indian, dot not feather, and and it's like, yeah, man, like chill on that. You know, it's like future bass raga, and it's like but then at the same time, but then there are like by white Americans who have like no connection. But then it's like, but then you can hear like raga jungle coming out of like Britain, but where it's like, you know, a British Indian person, you know what I mean, like who's like teamed up with like maybe some white and some black DJs or some whatever, and they're bringing their influences from their family, and like, and it turns into this whole new you know, this mix of elements. I mean, and also, you know, like I was thinking this, you get this in like, look at hip hop, right? Like, you know, there's the still ongoing conversation and stigma of white rappers, right? But there's a difference between a Macklemore and an LP, right? Where like LP comes off as just like, there's no one's questioning LP's like, you know, realness or like commitment to hip hop. Like he's you know, he's established, he's been around and in the underground and stuff for a long time, and like kind of got his propers. But also it's like, he's a Brooklyn kid who grew up in street ciphers and lyricist lounges and on train tracks and bombing and all sorts of stuff. So it's like, what is that? Did you hear that hiss just pop up?
Oh, it's
pipes.
It's the goddamn neighbors.
Oh, it's the neighbors. Interesting. Oh, the upstairs. The neighbor.
The neighbor upstairs.
Yeah, but yeah, you know what I mean. Like no one's questioning LP's authenticity.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, not no one. There's always, haters and judges and whatever, people who just don't like you. But like,
right.
Or like you get a similar thing with like Aesop Rock, or even though like a lot of hip hop heads are like, oh, he's too verbose, he's too wordy, too whatever. But no one's like, oh, he's a fake, right?
Britney, I think, is authentic. I think Britney's just trying to be herself.
I think Britney would be authentic if she was allowed to be.
That's a good point.
Yeah,
that's a good point.
If she wasn't,
that leash is on pretty tight by old daddy dearest.
Yeah.
God damn it.
She would be authentic if she wasn't a
slave. Oh shit, we both went there at the same time. That was good.
All right, no, we can't. Wow. No, we'll get flagged.
Oh yeah,
we'll get flagged by YouTube, and more importantly, our YouTube audience. They'll be like, "No, I don't like this.
We don't do that.
Don't you?" And some of it will be like, "Don't fucking sing Britney," and some of them will be like, "Don't you make fun of Britney."
He wants to sing Britney can,
and they're both right.
Leave Britney alone. Do you know? Chris Crocker follows me on Twitter.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
I think you told me that at one point.
Yeah.
That's fucking funny.
Yeah.
That's pretty hilarious. But so okay.
Hey, Three Bears Gaming. What's up? Welcome.
Hey, Three Bears. What's going on, man? It was my intention to hit you up today after I get home from doing this. I know we've been talking about linking up for a minute. You have to excuse me for being busy and a space cadet all the time. But let's link up later on today. I'm gonna shoot you a message. Good to see you.
Yeah, same.
Yeah. All good. Story of my life. Exactly. Right. Artists. This is how we are. I'm going to get around to it sometime in the next year. Okay. Hey, we got a dog chewing a toy in the shot. Toy in the shot.
Get out of here.
Squeak toy in the recording.
Dog, look at this pig. Look at this thing. What is this?
Well, the listeners can't see the pig. For the listeners, it is a... that it oinks like pigs do.
Right.
Yeah. It's a little dog toy. It's this little like fuzzy neon hot pink.
Oh yeah.
Flat pig.
Dude, we had to take that thing away from her for a little while because she gets really obsessive over it and she gets like really defensive. And if you get anywhere near it, she's like
protective of the pig.
She won't do that with just about any other toy, but it's like the pink pigs.
Weird.
Yeah. Weird. The neighbor gave them to her, so. Yeah.
It's a special one. Three Bears says, "What's good, man?" I
think we got some new coffee that we hope is good.
We do have some new coffee. Yeah. We should try the coffee. I'm excited about it.
Yeah, you came at a fun time. That's part of the light roast is that we feature coffee. So
yeah, are you into coffee, Three Bears? We got to wait for the response. I should.
Well, it gives me an opportunity.
I don't know if you're a coffee drinker.
Well, we're doing an unboxing anyway.
Yeah. So here, if
I think the water's all ready.
The water's ready. Could you hand me the box over there?
It's a nice box.
And then
premium pack.
It's a nice black box, dude. The box is cool. So all right, so the coffee roaster is Onyx. And I just found these guys. I was just looking online, like, let's just find some new coffee that we can find. Let's look up cool roasters, and these guys popped up at the top, which probably means that they just paid the most for advertising. But hey, good on them. And it's pretty cool, man. Like the box has like fucking snakes and skulls and shit on it.
Yeah, they're all embossed
fucking
into
badass.
Into the texture. It's all texturized.
So Three Bears Gaming says, worked as a barista for several years, got me to a point where I'm like French press or death, dark roast preferred. Very cool.
Nice.
All right,
nice,
so a real coffee head, but I only really drink it when I need to be awake, not every day. Oh, yeah, no, I'm definitely every day. I was just watching this clip with Steve-O and Eric Andre, and they were talking about drugs and stuff, and they eventually got, like, Eric Andre was like, really, my drug of choice is coffee.
Yeah.
And then Steve-O was like,
oh yeah, dude, fucking coffee, dude. I just drink it all fucking day. I've got my coffee right here, man, and like, you know.
That's a good Steve-O. That's exactly what he sounds like.
So just one too many lines of cocaine, man, you know. It's like,
one. One too many. 10 too many.
Okay. Dude, you're right. Dude, when I knocked my teeth out of my face, dude, that shit was fucking gnarly, dude.
All right, so check it out, man. Yeah, he's got fucking snakes. It's got like a skull on the back. This box that says, never settle for good enough. Dude, it's all like trying to be hardcore. It's like it's like Affliction, the coffee, but it's not nearly as douchey looking as Affliction. This is pretty dope. Onyx, I like it. I had to go for that. It immediately reminded me of the rap group, and I was like, fuck yeah, Onyx, like I'm getting that shit. That's what I'm talking about. The flavor we have here is called Southern Weather. Southern Weather.
Hell yeah.
And here, before I get into reading the bag and all that stuff, and oh yeah, this is super up its own ass. We're gonna have fun with this. This is real self-important. Which, you know, not shitting on Onyx. This is actually Onyx. If you guys are watching this, they're not. But if you were to, I really actually dig all of this packaging, this whole thing.
Do you need to cut it open?
Probably.
Yeah.
I don't know. I was gonna.
Yep.
Is that typically what you do? Do you just cut them open?
Yeah, just that top little bit. Mm-hmm.
Right, like that, or whole thing off the top.
All the way across.
Okay. I don't know why I'm being so careful with it. Like, I don't want to hurt the bag. All right.
Dude, you give it the first whiff. You ordered them.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that a lot. Here we go.
So dark roast. What was the roast on this one? It looks a little bit more like a light to medium.
Like a
roast.
Medium, I think. I believe it's a medium roast.
Yeah, it's not a dark roast for sure.
Three Bears says his drug of choice is bud and sugar and sex. Yep, I'm with you on bud and sex. I try to avoid the sugar if I can.
Oh man,
as much as I can, but it's a good one. I do enjoy it. So let's see. We're gonna look at this packaging here some more. So. What the basic notes here that it says is milk chocolate, plum, candied walnuts, and then it just says juicy, like not juicy something, like it's separated, like it's like juicy, and then it's citrus oil. Which is there a citrus oil? Isn't it just like citrus juice or like citric acid? I don't know how you make citrus oil. Do you put citrus oil and fat? Would that mix? And what the fuck is juicy? Is that a flavor? Like that sound, you know, that sounds almost sexual. Milk chocolate, plum, candied walnuts, juicy. Citrus oil. Like, and then even the citrus oil after juicy, citrus oil wouldn't sound sexual if they didn't say juicy before citrus oil. You guys are making it weird, Onyx, but I'm with it. I like it, cause like my boy Three Bears here, my drug of choice is sex for the most part. That's the best one, and coffee.
I think I'm a coffee guy.
Coffee more than sex for you? You think?
Probably.
Yeah. I mean, coffee more often.
Yeah.
I can't have 4 cups of sex a day.
That's right.
That's a lot.
That's right.
I can have 3. Okay, so this is, I guess, more on the. This is so cool. They've got a traditional to modern scale. It looks like it's more toward the modern, I guess. Is that what that looks like? Is that all that looks like front camera? Can you see that all the way from there? No, there's no way that you can see that. But yeah, it's got like 5 colored in dots and then 3 hollow dots. Southern Weather is a blend of washed coffees from East Africa and Latin America. You always got to steal some shit from Africa and Latin America. Motherfuckers. Goddamn colonizers. Served as a refined house blend for quality cafes around the world. This coffee utilizes seasonal micro lots. Somehow that sounds evil. Seasonal micro lots. That sounds like some Monsanto evil shit. We're going to assume it's not for Onyx's sake, but utilizes seasonal micro lots to recreate the same flavor profile year-round. See, that also sounds evil.
Yeah, it's actually kind of the opposite of evil.
Is it really?
Yeah, seasonal micro lots, meaning, certain things only grow in certain seasons. Monsanto would try to force that.
Yeah, that's what that sounds like.
Yeah, now this is like rotating fields and letting land rest and maybe like not over-harvesting, and then also taking specific varieties of coffee from like just one farm. Usually that's considered micro lot. So one farm.
Right. They did say that on the
single origin.
They did say that on the
single origin
website.
can be like one town though.
Right.
Which could be still a variety of beans. So like micro lot usually implies that you're getting something from like a small farm somewhere, which I think is fucking cool. I love that.
And so, yeah, Three Bears says, wait, so new roast every week? That's the idea.
We try.
That's the idea. We try. We had one day where it was 2 roasts that we had the last 2 weeks and mixed together, and we called that a blend.
Yeah, we blended.
That's a blend.
We blended.
And that's going to be our lazy day go-to, or lazy or lazy day or poor week, you know? If it's like it's either like we're too lazy to figure out something new, or too busy to figure out something new, or I didn't have $24 to to have some new coffee shipped to me. But yes, we try a new blend every week, and this is the coffee where this is the coffee. This is the show. I'm so fucking tired. This is the show where we read the coffee and roast the news.
That's it.
That's how that works. I'm gonna keep on reading this coffee. So seasonal micro lots to recreate the same flavor profile year-round, which actually is a good thing. And it says right here, I'd forgotten this. It said this on their site too. All whole bean coffee is sourced, roasted, and packaged by Onyx Coffee in Northwest Arkansas. Which now, okay. If any of you have been watching since the earlier episodes, or since just 2 episodes ago, you might remember that I shared an opinion about Arkansas and their new abortion laws, and I may have suggested that Arkansas needs more abortions, but let's not think about that right now, because we're going to enjoy this Arkansas coffee, and we're going to praise them. That's what Arkansas should be for. Look, give more, give more land for growing stuff. You need less people there. Can't fucking help myself. I'm terrible. We publish transparent pricing, grade score, logistics, farm cultural history, and brewing recipes on our website. That's pretty dope. I really hope this coffee lives up to my expectations now. I'm like super psyched about this. Like, I like how like heavy metal it looks, and I like that it's all black and it's called Onyx, and it's
I like it. Honestly, I really like their packaging and their branding. I think it's fucking cool.
Yeah, and their whole like kind of purpose and mission, and everything is locally sourced and grown, and locally roasted and packaged, and that's cool, man.
Yeah, you made a great selection.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah,
thank you.
And it's fresh too. Like this shit was roasted
the day before they sent it to me.
Yeah, 316. I think it said on the bottom.
Right. Yeah.
That's awesome. So, tell me the words that they said that they were using to describe this.
They said milk chocolate, plum, candied walnuts.
Okay.
Juicy. Citrus oil.
Juicy's like something you see written on the back of some leggings.
Yeah, like. Right, yeah, written on the back of some sweatpants that are supposed to make your ass look fatter. Like, what? What? I don't understand why it just says juicy.
Oh, yeah.
How much for how much? So this was, on the site, it was $16.99 for 12 ounces? Or 18 ounces? Or 16 ounces? Something like that.
Yummy. It smells pretty good.
I don't say it on it, but
I'm wafting.
It was like $16, and then it was
remember in science class, the teacher was like, "Never stand over and breathe in. You gotta waft.
Waft it.
Waft it.
Waft it.
That's how people smell farts too. You fucking waft.
Yeah, except they waft the other way. They're like, "Hey, you."
Does it work?
No. Well, you know what also doesn't work is when you fart to try to then run away from your fart.
Oh, definitely not.
No, it follows you. You somehow create like a draft tunnel of fart wind.
Oh yeah.
That just.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's
right. You just get shit wind that just follows you.
Yeah.
I did it to Coco the other day.
Yeah, you can't. Yeah. Did you? Oh shit. It's a good relationship right there.
Oh man,
when you fart with each other.
Yeah, we fart in front of each other all the time. Like not on purpose. Like we're not like, hey.
Yeah, but like, run up, smash their head in your ass. Yeah. College kids.
What kind of college do you go to?
I may or may not have some trauma.
That's why I didn't join any fraternities.
Fuck
that,
dude. I did in fact pledge because
really?
Yeah, and I got blackballed at the end before I was initiated. They took a vote and they kicked me out.
Oh man, that's awesome.
Yeah,
hey,
it was not like I didn't do anything hardcore, but the reason was pretty bullshit. And anyway.
Well, hey, fuck it. Well, who was it Groucho Marx that said, I wouldn't want to be a part of any club that would have me as a member.
Exactly.
Yeah, fuck them.
Fucking idiots.
You'd accept me. You guys.
Y'all are not the right group.
Yeah. Yeah. If you take me, you take anybody.
Yeah, you ready?
Yeah. All right.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
All right. And, so we brewed with a V60, nice. And so I use this for my rinse. I need to go dump this real quick so that I can use my coffee mug.
Okay. So we've been doing this every episode so far. Hey, Jim, what's going on? Jim says, think of all the money I've saved by not drinking coffee. Sadly, most of that savings just went to porn. I mean, everybody has their vices, Some people drink coffee. Some people's thing is porn. I like to drink coffee while I watch porn.
Yes.
And extend the session. And just dry myself out in every conceivable way.
Dude, coffee turns me on. Coffee makes me horny. It's an aphrodisiac.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Oh yeah. Yeah.
But it works for me.
Yep.
For sure.
Me too.
If I've had too much, I'll think I feel really good, but I can't get it up.
Yep.
If I've had too much.
You had too much. It's like
yeah, I feel great, but man, can't get my shit going.
It's like blow.
Right. All right. I've heard same things. I've never tried cocaine.
Yeah, me either.
Never tried it.
Nope. So I hear.
Exactly. Friend told me.
Yeah. So I've heard.
Yeah. All right.
So yeah, I like it. I like it.
Getting the plum.
And
the citrus.
Well, let's see. I don't know if I'm getting plum. I'm definitely getting the juicy. Fucking getting juicy. I don't know what that's about. I have no idea what that means. Now, some of this stuff I'm starting to find out is just like coffee head terminology that I don't know yet.
Sure.
So juicy might really like mean something to like real coffee people. I'm not that. I'm just a guy. I'm just an addict.
So, what am I getting? So comparing it, because I had some of my coffee earlier, it's not as fruity as that.
No.
It's just got more of that kind of medium roast.
Yep.
Kind of a little bit of that darker, just a little bit darker and toastier kind of thing going on.
It's definitely got a toasty thing. I'm definitely getting the milk chocolate again.
Yeah, it's definitely kind of like nutty, chocolatey.
But it's got more of a bite, and that might be the fruit, the plum. It's got more of a bite than the counterculture stuff did. The counterculture was real, like, round.
Yeah.
Kind of, soft, mild.
I get what you're saying. I gave it the same brew, same grind setting, same brew time. Actually, it went about 15 or 20 seconds longer. So it's a little bit more
a little bit more done.
Just a little bit. Like 4 minutes would be like probably noticeable.
Yeah.
But anyway. I think it's actually really good coffee though.
Say, Three Bear says, coffee or Thai tea usually keeps me awake when I stream late. I could use some variation in coffee, though. It's usually just Bustelo. By the way, yeah, if you guys who are with us on Twitch, nice. And if you're not on Twitch, get on Twitch. Get your life. What are you doing, right? It's 2021. How old are you, right? Are you 85? If you're not 85, get on fucking Twitch. What are you doing? Okay.
Dude, do you remember, what was the guy's name that was on Twitch? There was an old guy on Twitch. He was like riding around in his electric mobility chair,
his mobility scooter,
and Spencer something, was that his name? Spencer?
I don't know. I'm new to the Twitch game. I'm just now getting my life.
Do you guys remember his name? Do you guys remember that guy? He had like a really interesting following. He'd make dinner and drink a glass of wine, and every once in a while he'd have a guest over, and he had this real epic sounding voice, but he was British, so he had I'm not doing a British tone, but like he had the British thing going on too, and like he was old, man, and had like a few hundred or 1,000 people in his room pretty regularly. It's pretty amazing to see that guy like crushing Twitch. It was really neat. And the way he was integrating with people in chat and using the lingo and learning stuff was fucking awesome.
Right.
It's fucking awesome.
That's cool. That is cool. Well, that's what I see though, right? Is when older people take the time to engage, they learn it.
It's a choice.
It is. It is a choice. Yeah. The most proficient TikToker I know is my girlfriend Coco, and she's 41, and like makes me feel old, just like breezing through the shit and and getting followers.
She's really good with her TikTok.
She's awesome. Yeah, she's awesome. I've finally got a couple of ideas for some stuff I think is going to be pretty funny that I'm gonna do in the next couple of days.
Dig it.
So, but yeah, Three Bears, you were saying. I was saying, y'all, go check out Three Bears Gaming. Gaming spelled Gayming, because it's gay-ming, and that's the best part about it. No, they're just awesome. They're awesome showmen over there. They have really great shows. And it's wide variety, really everything from gaming to live art. It's a good time. Like, go over there and hang out. He says, "Oh, you're a sweet buddy." No, man, I'm being real. I love it. I love when Coco's on you guys' shows. I'll just hover around and hang out, and like, she'll be on mic, and I'll just pop up, and I'm like, "Hey, what's going on?" And then and then we'll start talking. Me and her will start talking, and then I'm like, okay, let me not take over her spot, but yeah, man, I was doing the same thing with Bustelo for a while. Coco and I were doing that, especially just all through the pandemic. It was just an easy, decent for being shitty coffee to get.
Right. Are you using the like a steel mocha pot?
No.
What are you using?
We were just brewing it. Okay. In an American pot, which means that you gotta clean that filter out every once in a while, because that's a fine grind. It's a fine grind.
Mm-hmm. It's almost Turkish.
Almost, yeah.
It's like espresso.
It's definitely espresso, and almost a Turkish. Which I like Bustelo. I like Bustelo a lot, but there's only so much of it I can do, and so we started, getting other stuff. But it's still like it's some regular old stuff. She's been ordering like Starbucks and cafe something. I forget what the other one is, but fine. Just switching it. It's fine, but. It ain't this though. This stuff is good.
It as coffee cools down, I find that a lot of interesting flavors come out. And then once it gets I was noticing there was a little nuttiness in there earlier, and I think maybe it's coming out a little bit more neat. Walnuts, huh?
Yeah, candied walnuts.
So another thing too, I keep forgetting about. One thing that I usually recommend is that we drink some cold water with it, because a sip of cold water with your coffee like helps kind of cleanse your flavor palette, and it'll kind of open you up to a few more flavors.
Oh,
yeah, we'll do that next time.
I think I did learn that at some point when I was a barista, but I'd forgotten all so. That's a good idea.
And I like the hot and cold contrast a little bit.
Yeah,
it's kind of nice.
Yeah. I get that. So,
Cafe Cielo.
Yeah, we definitely drink some of that for sure. Right. Yeah,
I have a Turkish ibrik, also called a chezva, upstairs that you make over an open flame, like a gas flame, but it's got to be a powered like fucking pressure flame or whatever.
Right.
But yeah, that's pretty amazing stuff. That's when you really need a proper Turkish grind. It's got to be beyond espresso. It's got to be like almost powdered sugar or as fine as you can get it. And that's some incredibly potent coffee right there. Oh my god.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, like I will sit here and just I won't be able to sit still.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna it's gonna be like
oh yeah. That's like having that Cuban coffee, man, having coffee coladas and stuff like
or
that,
Cubano or something.
Yeah, well, they have coladas or cotaritos or like, so it's which is just just Spanish words for basic stuff. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I mean they brew that shit like sludge.
Yeah, and then you're right. It's real thick in the bottom.
Oh yeah. Well, and then it's like, and then on top of that, it's like equal parts coffee and sugar. Yeah, it's like 1-to-1 ratio.
Right.
And I didn't know when I first started drinking that stuff when I moved to Miami. I didn't realize because they give it to you in like this little cup like this, and you're like,
it's tiny.
It's like a little 6-ounce cup, right? Yeah. And you're like, oh okay.
Cute.
Little coffee cup.
Fuck! I just got swindled.
Well, not even that. I'm just
on
like
a street corner somewhere.
I'm just like, oh, okay, it's a strong cup of coffee, right? I get it, little 6-ounce cup, like like a teacup or something. Okay, fine, cool. Right. That's just how they do it.
Right.
So I'd take it to work. I'm working at the Apple Store, and I just drink my whole cup of Cuban coffee. They started calling me El Cubano. I thought it was, I thought it was because I look vaguely Hispanic, maybe. And they're like, nah, bro, because you drinking them whole Cuban coffees every day, like a madman, like a fucking animal. And I'm like,
amazing.
Are you not supposed to do that? They're like, bro, don't they give you the shot cups with them? And I'm like, yeah, I never knew what that was about. They're like, you're supposed to share that with like however many shots they give you, like how many cups they give you, like that's how many people that's supposed to serve. And I was
amazing.
Like, oh,
that's why I'm having heart problems.
Yeah, that's why I haven't slept in 2 weeks. Like, all right, cool.
Wow.
That's why I've been having panic attacks at work every day.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, that and PTSD. So
yeah, that's real.
But so I want to finish making fun of Q Shaman. Right, we've already
Q
Shaman,
little buddy.
So we never really got to. I know that was a hard left turn, but I'm just like, it's still like in the front of my mind, and I'm like, this fucking douchebag. So first of all, this guy's name is Jacob Anthony Angeli Chansley. Like, yeah, no wonder he calls himself Q Shaman.
Right.
Like, I don't, and he's like, listen, it took me a while to like figure out that he has all 4 of the names, and like, and first of all, like, what kind of racist white person are you to have like a Spanish number of names behind your ass? Like, you know what I mean? How American is that? 4 fucking names. Like,
it sounds like his parents were like trying to bust a rhyme and then kind of bailed on it.
That's just that real like super fucking hick world shit.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Say it again. What was it?
Jacob Anthony Angeli Chansley.
Angeli Chansley.
Yeah.
Like, what?
Oh my God.
Jacob Angeli Chansley.
Jacob Anthony Angeli Chansley. Jacob Anthony Angeli Chansley.
That hard A is repeating.
Angeli Chansley. Yeah.
That hard A is repeating.
Anthony Angeli Chansley. Like,
what the fuck?
Tells you where he comes from. From a double wide. That's where he comes from. No judgment if you do, but that guy does for sure. So this is what he did though. So he angered a judge when this. So he'd been saying throughout his trial, he's like, the police were waving people in, and then a video came out that showed him going in with no police anywhere around him as like other people are breaking windows into the building. So the judge is just like, you fucking lying little sack of shit. He's like, I already didn't like you. This is some bullshit that you pulled. Now you tried to blame the shit on the police with your bullshit ass conspiracy theory. No, fuck you. I'm not letting you out of jail. You're staying in jail until your trial.
That's right.
You're a dangerous fucking man.
Yep.
And this complaining wussy ass bastard is just like, no, I have to. They're being unfair to me, and I'm waiting to hear from my president. And I'm just waiting for a sign from you, sir. And this is a conspiracy by BLM and Antifa. And
it's like JT, like Jonathan Taylor Thomas.
Yeah. Three Hairs Gaming says, probably that sounds like the name of some Z-list cereal box superhero or like some famous sitcom kid from the 90s, like JTT. Yeah.
Right.
I was once in a movie with not JTT but ZTB, Zachary Ty Bryant, the other kid, the older brother.
Is that Dawson? No.
No, it was no. He was the older brother on. Yeah. He was in a movie.
On Tool, was it Home Improvement?
Home Improvement. Yeah.
Got it. Yeah.
Yeah. He was the oldest brother. Was a supporting character in this Disney movie in the 90s called First Kid, and I was an extra in it, but I got cut from the movie, so I'm not actually in the final cut, but I was there. I can tell you like what sequence I was supposed to be in, but we didn't wind up in it.
Right. That's pretty.
Yeah, with Sinbad. Yes, and I met Sinbad.
Right.
I was 10 years old. It was 1995, and I met Sinbad and took a picture with him. And it's funny because
because he's like imitating somebody. He's like not actually supposed to be taking care of the kid, but he like. I think.
Oh yeah, he is.
Are
He's
you sure?
Secret Service. Yeah. Yep.
Okay,
Sinbad's
he was Secret Service,
but he doesn't want to be on.
He doesn't want to be.
Yeah, they're just giving him.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
You know, they're just giving the black guy the bitch work. They're like, you watch the fucking kid.
Yeah, that's what it was. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, man.
And then they end up making friends and shit.
I was in Three Bears says I would have died. Oh my god, I loved him so much in a different world. Dude, Sinbad was my favorite, man. I used to love his bit about getting spanked by his mom, about how the belt would come out of the sky and all her clothes rip off and she would have a Superman suit with a W on it for whooping. He tried to run, but her arm would stretch out like Stretch Armstrong. Don't you run from me! Oh my god. I was like, I can relate to all these stories.
You feel like your mom's arm is like surreal long.
Oh my god,
and
dude!
It's like, there's no way, she just got me.
Dude, I tried to do a bit about getting spankings as a kid, but it's like not the '90s anymore, you know.
Right. Yeah.
So I joke about
your mother was abusive.
I remember my mom had this belt, and it's not like she would like get me with this part, but she had this belt that had like it was this big '70s belt with this giant buckle. Big metal buckle on the front, and it was just like, it wasn't like scary so much as just like insulting, because like it had these little divots in it, and when she was like wielding the thing, the light would catch it, and it was like you had a disco ball going on in the room while you were getting whooped, It was like, no, I don't want the room to feel festive right now. I'm upset. I mean, well, it wasn't bedazzled, but it was just like like not punctured, but like pressed. Had like little divots all in the front of it, textured.
Yeah, sure.
And
almost like hand hammered.
Yeah. And I hated that fucking thing. I hated that belt by the time I was like 10, 11.
Right. I think my mom's preference was the wooden spoon.
Oh man! Oh, I never got anything like that.
Wooden spoon.
Like that. My whoopings were always to hurt my feelings, not my body. Thank God. But they definitely did hurt my feelings.
I think her intention was to hurt was to like help make me change my mind. About my actions, or make different choices. Right?
Yeah. I mean, it worked for riding my bike in the street. I was like, oh, don't do that again. Got it.
Right.
I also am afraid of you now, but got it.
The day the wooden spoon broke is the day the game changed.
Yeah. That's the day
you don't do that. You don't do it anymore when the spoon broke, and I'm sitting there like, yes, and right.
Yeah. And then you're like, what else you got?
What else you got?
Now my mom was good with the
game's up.
My mom was good with the psychological stuff. She used to just randomly just ask me, just like when you get taller than me, who's still in charge? I'm like, you. That's right. Just randomly, we'd be out somewhere. Who's in charge? You. That's right. I'm like, okay. I firmly believe. I still believe to this day. You couldn't look. My mother was like 120 pounds and like 5'4" almost, and And I'm 36. She's my mother. She's like not a youth. You couldn't pay me to fight her. You couldn't pay me enough money to fist fight my mother, and not because of like respect. Although there is that, I would not fight my mother out of respect, but out of fear.
Yeah,
there's no way you could pay me enough money. You couldn't give me the right weapon to go into it. No.
Check this out. So my mom was a single mom. So And
mine too.
One thing that she told my sister, and I didn't realize this until a lot later, and I think one of our mutual friends, I think, explained this to me after I mentioned that she did this thing. she kind of explained like why she might have done this. And what she did was my mother told me and my sister that she was a black belt in karate. And that she had like trained when she was younger, and that she had actually like gotten a black, and at some level, it gave my sister and I some confidence in feeling safe with my mom.
Right.
When there wasn't, dad around or a partner there all the time or whatever.
Yeah.
And so, it did work. I probably repeated that to a few people a few times.
Yeah.
Like, my mom knows black belt. She's a black belt in karate. She's gonna kick your ass. So I grew up with this image of like, my mom like fucking stuff.
I'm gonna fuck you up, man. My mom's stronger than your dad.
Yeah, exactly. Sure.
Yeah.
Right.
My mom actually did martial arts classes with me. She started after I started, so by the time I was like a green belt, she was coming in as a white belt. But
cool.
She would spar and stuff, man.
Okay.
And yeah. And all the kids used to call
my mom would kind of spar with us too, and kind of act, and she would do some like
kind of act out. No, man, my mom would like
convinced.
Put on the gloves and the little footies and stuff and like spar, and we
awesome.
We used to go to tournaments and stuff, and
cool.
And all the kids used to call her Ninja Mom.
Right.
Three Bear said, kids now be like, "Fuck you, mom," while driving away in her car. Yo, for real. That's not new necessarily either. I think it's accelerated now, but that's also,
kids used to steal the cart and buggy, man.
Bro,
and the horse.
Well, this is a thing that I find. This is a conversation that happens amongst black and brown kids, immigrant kids, and poor kids, of like, not enough. There was no playing that shit. But every black person has the story of the first time they went to their white friend's house and watched their white friend just like scream curse words and insults and shit at their parents, and you're just like, okay, so they're gonna slit their throat any minute and then chop them up into little pieces and then bury them in the yard, right?
Yep.
And it never comes. I'd be on the phone with people. I remember being in high school and starting to talk to girls and stuff.
Right.
And there was this one friend of mine.
I'm realizing I was a poor kid because I can relate.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I say poor, I just mean not well to do.
I was a poor kid.
Yeah. But like, dude, I had this one friend, Carol, man, and man, I'd be on the phone with her. Her mom would pick up, and her mom was a hard ass, right? Her mom was an elementary school principal, and definitely had that vibe, and was kind of like pretty sardonic, and would like say like, I remember one day she picked me up, the other kids were in the car, and she picks me up, so I'll go hang out somewhere, and I'm wearing a fishnet shirt underneath my t-shirt, and her mom looks at me, she goes, "Do you keep your fish in there?" And I'm just like looking at her like, bitch, I'm all offended, right? And but dude, she would like, I'd be talking to her mom would pick up the phone. "Carol, get off the phone." Carol would go, "Shut up, mom! Shut up! I'm on the fucking phone." And I'm just like, oh my god.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just like, dude, she's gonna hit you with a bat with nails in it. Dude. Like, what are you doing? What are you doing?
Yeah, like,
and that was just, that shit was always wild to me. It's still just, yep.
Yeah, I never had a habit of doing anything. Like, there were moments of like outbursts and just like being upset and, Mom, fuck you, Mom. But like never just like
that.
Fuck you, I'm on the phone. It was never like that petty. And that that was not tolerated.
No,
and it just wasn't. It didn't seem to be the way I wanted to be, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, it's like we were in a conversation one day about, how well our parents did on us. That's what I was saying. I'm like, you clearly came from at least halfway decent stock because you understand that there's like a way to treat and talk to people. There are people in this. I don't know if you've noticed this. There are people in this world who like never learned respect or like or discourse or patience or any of that shit. Tact.
Yeah, and I think who else catches a lot of the they get diagnosed with this sort of attitude a lot are the only children. that didn't grow up with any siblings.
Right.
And I don't think that's entirely true
I don't think that's true either.
I think that's kind of a bad rap that a lot of only kids have gotten. Because I was kind of growing up, because my parents, I think, valued the two kids thing. And I think a lot of traditional Americans tend to value like the two kids, especially the older boy and the younger girl. It's like very, the way America wants to be. It seems to be anyway.
Yeah.
And so, I just think I got that narrative that like only kids were bratty or whatever. So I think Melissa and I have been concerned about that because we only want to have one kid right now. But we do understand that maybe there's some value in having a second one for the child's sake. But we're not afraid that she's going to be bratty. But that's still a fucking concern in there.
I don't think so. I know so like I can think of off the top of my head like. I mean, more people than I can count on two hands that are single-parent children who are, respectful and mannerable and kind.
Yeah,
and
it can't be just about whether they have a sibling or not.
No,
that can't be the only defining factor to whether or not they're an asshole.
I think that's parents having a fucking cop out. Yeah, exactly. Three Bears says, there were always kids like that, but it never seemed the norm. I was like super respectful with my folks. Unfortunately, it kind of was the norm where I grew up, in Northern Virginia, outside of DC, rich suburb.
Yeah.
But we were okay. We didn't want for anything, but like I didn't have all the newest stuff. I didn't have my mom didn't buy me a brand new car the moment I turned 16.
Sure.
She bought a car 5 years before I turned 16, and by the time I was 17, she had it paid off, and then she could buy another one.
Yeah.
Which was it was awesome and a privilege for me to be able to have that. But like relative to most of my friends, they all lived in homes and I lived in apartments.
Yeah.
And they.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, did you guys own your home or?
No.
No. Exactly.
No, we lived in a condo, but we rented it.
Right.
from the people who owned it, who had moved into a house with their only son.
It's like statistically, if you're renting, you're more likely to be not generating much wealth.
No, well,
it's more likely that if you're
not building generational wealth, you're not building equity. You're just
you're
kind of getting by.
If you're renting, is most likely you're poor.
We would prefer broke. Yeah.
Well,
broke and poor are different. Broke is I don't have any extra money. Poor is I don't have enough money. Right? I have to get people who are like, oh yeah, I'm working my job. Like, hey, I'm not getting paid until the end of the week. I'm broke right now. You're broke, right?
But there's reasonable expectation that you have work and or income,
right,
and that you're
going to be all right.
That you'll be all right. You can safely count on it,
right,
coming at the end. And then poor is like
I have to have a hustle to make it.
Yeah, right.
I got to have 2 jobs, 3 jobs, a side hustle. I got to
Yeah.
I got to start a show and hope to God that people start tipping us, and then enough people follow us that we that we can monetize. I got to start a show and really hope that Onyx likes this bit and doesn't see episode 4. And I'm gonna continue plowing through a little bit of news. This is the last thing I got to say about Q Shaman, fucking Jake over here. It's just that, now that I've seen him just his regular self, I understand what the outfit was about.
Oh, yeah. He's way better looking in the outfit.
Way better looking in the outfit. I remember seeing him in the without the makeup and shit, and I was like, that's it. Like, it's about, imagine like
your little baby.
It's like what I bet like Marilyn Manson would look like when he waked up. You're like, that's the guy? Really?
That's a big let.
That's him? Like, he's not so scared. Oh, he's just kind of doughy and like...
Right.
Looks kind of wimpy and kind of sad.
Yeah.
He's got no chin.
He's balding.
He kind of looks like...
which is not a big deal.
It's not... I mean, it happens, but like it just... You get that... We see why he has the furry hat.
Yeah.
I definitely see what the face paint was about because whoa, those features. There's a very funny comic named Andrew George. What's up, buddy? Who's got a joke about mountain face, and I'm not going to do the joke, but that guy has it. He's got the mountain face.
The mountain face.
Yeah, like I'm not saying his face looks like a mountain, but he's from the mountains.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like he's got that mountain face for sure. You know, he's got those heavy eyebrow ridges, that sloping forehead, you know?
Okay.
Got those
mountain folk or special folk. I identify a lot with like mountain folk, but I'm definitely not from the mountains.
Right. And I don't mean to pick on mountain folks. What I'm implying is that this guy comes from the type of town that has a lottery, not the kind where you win money. You know what I mean? Like you know, this guy, like, you know, this guy strikes me as the type of guy who, like, it might be...
They gave him a parade out of town to go to the insurrection.
Right. Yeah, exactly. They were like... after the insurrection happened, they, drew his...
back home.
They drew his name out of an old-timey bucket, you know? And then they pushed a hoop down a dirt road and made him chase it with his hands tied behind his back. Then they tarred him and feathered him and said, well, it's going to be you. This is who we're sacrificing.
Oh, man, that idea, the tarring and feathering, I mean, I do think Trump would do that. That's a good one for Trump. Tar and feathers.
Yep,
like,
tar and feather.
That'd be a good one for him.
Yeah, I'm with that.
Fuck yeah.
Yep, like hot tar.
Oh, hot.
Yeah.
It has to be hot.
Yeah, I mean, after a trial, for sure.
If it's soft, it's hot.
Well, that's a thing. That's a story you had, right, that we could jump off to, is just Trump kind of in general. What's going on with him?
Oh, yeah.
What's not going on with him?
There's one directly related story and then another that's involving somebody else who said something about him in the past. Anyway, there's the one, gosh. Yeah, I saw the CNN interview where they were in Oklahoma or Arkansas, middle America.
I'm saying the
middle America.
I'm just saying the state name keeps coming up. That's all I'm saying.
I don't think it matters.
That's all I'm saying. Arkansas keeps popping up. It's always in a bad context. That's all I'm saying. Just more fields, less people. That's all I'm saying. Okay, go.
Well, we all know it's Arkansas, right? It's Arkansas.
It's Arkansas.
Like
Arch, Kansas.
It's Arkansas. It's all of our Kansas.
Look, it
ain't just your Kansas, it's our Kansas.
Look, it ain't my Kansas. Kansas ain't my Kansas, and Arkansas ain't my Kansas. Stick to the coastal cities, bro.
Exactly. Yeah. Don't venture that far in. So doing the interview, basically the CNN guy's like got his mask on. Nobody inside of the place seems to be acknowledging that the pandemic is an issue. And
you mean it hasn't ended yet?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Well, you can. So the guy's asking him questions about, like, well, are you guys planning on getting the vaccine? And everybody's just a no, like a hell no. And they don't trust it. They don't trust the government, even though Trump's out in the open now saying, hey, like, you guys should get the fucking vaccine. And they believe and trust Trump for everything. Yeah, then the vaccine is like the line.
Well, that's just a message from Q.
Right.
He's just giving us a sign.
Oh,
when he says take the vaccine,
right.
You see what he really means is don't take the vaxxer shit that they're trying to sheen like Charlie Sheen, like Tiger Blood. That's what's in the vaccine sheen. You see?
Tiger Blood.
It's Tiger Blood.
Can't have that.
Poison tiger blood. That's what has the microchips. And he knows it. And that's why he's saying,
yeah,
I want everybody to just go ahead and take the vaccine.
And Google's tracking you.
Right.
Also.
I mean, Google is tracking you.
Yeah.
It's tracking us right now.
Well, they are.
On multiple sources.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, I'm giving it
in multiple ways. Yep. We're creating Google's next ad campaign specifically for us right now. We're telling them what to send us. They're going to send us an ad for I don't know, some Charlie Sheen movie. Watch, I'm gonna get an ad for like
yeah, you might, yeah.
Major Leagues or some shit. Now because I said it. Watch, I'm gonna go home tonight and open up fucking Netflix, and it's gonna be like Major League 2, and I'll be like, you know what, that was a pretty good movie. I'm gonna watch that.
Yeah, Charlie Sheen with the bad haircut and the
stripes and the glasses with the skulls on the they look like Malcolm X glasses but with skulls on them.
Right.
Which I still don't know how I feel about that. I mean, did you have to do the Malcolm X glasses? For real? You couldn't find another shape? That was all that came. I mean, it was the 80s.
Those are still popular. They're still around. They're still. It's just this classic shape that we just can't fucking get rid of.
I'm gonna give me some Malcolm X glasses to be the shit.
You know? Mm-hmm. It's when people pop the lenses out and just wear the frames. That for some reason I'm just like, oh, it drives me fucking crazy. I can't explain why.
My roommate wears them with the plastic lenses.
The fuck? I'm somebody who can see really well, so if I'm looking through a plastic cheap
irritating
oh my, it gives me a fucking headache. I can't do it.
That's why I don't wear my glasses unless I'm driving or like doing something that I need them for specifically, because otherwise they give me a headache. I can see just well enough that like most of what I'm conscious of when I have my glasses on is just like the general fog of whatever shit I can never completely wipe off of them.
Yeah. During the pandemic, got a mask on, then it just fogs everything up.
I just figured out today how to wear the mask without it fogging up my glasses.
Oh, nice.
The trick is, for anybody struggling with this, although every other person who wears glasses has probably figured this out by now, is you got to slide your mask up underneath the bridge of your glasses.
There you go.
That's the way.
There you go.
I did not figure it out until I had to drive my family member to get his butt movie made. Yep. So that's the advantages of, if you need to figure out something, get a movie shot of inside your butt. Somehow that'll fix it.
Gives a slightly new meaning to B-roll, I guess. Because the B could be like
booty roll.
Booty roll. That's what I was thinking. Booty roll.
Oh man.
So yeah, they're turning on Trump a little bit, is what I'm seeing. They won't take his vaccine, even though he's out there like, I'm the hero with the vaccine. And like literally, we are at the point where half of the Republicans won't take it.
And like because of him, and it's like too late for him. Yeah. It's too late for him to save it now because he said the opposite for so fucking long. Like. Yeah.
And he's banned on Twitter because he's a fucking piece of shit. So
right,
he can't even reach.
Which unfortunately is like, it's not even like him being removed from Twitter is like 100% a good thing because
right. Oh, I know.
Because it martyrs him without even killing him, and it's like, God damn it, like
yes, yeah, it's a whole can of fucking worms. Like unreal.
Like I'm not advocating for anybody's death. We covered this earlier. I wouldn't advocate for or celebrate anybody's death. But if you're gonna martyr somebody, Jesus, at least fucking get rid of them. You're gonna leave him here and make him a fucking hero.
Make him a hero. Yeah.
Oh God.
There's that, and then there's like Meghan McCain fucking having to go out and say her apologies because she called it the China virus and supported the China virus, and now she's feeling all guilty because these girls got
because maybe you helped get a bunch of people murdered for no fucking reason.
She's realizing that the fucking hate rhetoric is coming from Trump's people that she supported blatantly just last year.
Stupid dick.
Like. Yeah, so she's out making apologies, and it's not going too well.
Yeah, that's what you get. Dude, I hope you can't sleep at night, bitch. I sincerely do. I really hope you can't sleep at night.
Yeah, absolutely.
I hope it eats at you because
ring the shame bell.
You are culpable.
Shame on
yeah. Shame. Now you got to walk topless through the town. Shame. That was the weird part of that in that episode. It was like, why does she have to be naked? I'm like, why? And then they're what were they like throwing shit at her, right? Like
everything, fruit and veggies and stuff.
That'd be pretty fun if I could throw like buckets of shit at her and then just scream shame.
I got an arm, man. I can fucking throw a tomato.
Like there's some medieval practices we should bring back just for some people. You know?
Do you remember the guy that threw the shoe at George Bush?
Yeah. No, he threw two shoes.
He got both of them off. Yes, that's right.
Oh, yeah.
That was
threw
so
2
awesome.
shoes at Bush. That shit was
exactly.
And Bush
like, I don't have any fucking tomatoes. I got some shoes.
Yo, and W ducked that shit like the Matrix, motherfucker. Like, yeah.
He was smiling too. He was all like, that whole shit was too
That shit
good.
was funny. This is the fact that this isn't even. It still baffles me. Look, a lot of you watching this shit are too young to remember, or maybe not. Maybe no young people give a fuck what I'm doing. But but a lot of y'all out there are too young to remember just what a clusterfuck W was when it happened.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, some of y'all Gen Zers were like, "Oh, Trump, and he was the reason for everything bad." No. There was a whole chain of events that led to people like him even being able to have a seat at the fucking table, and Bush was the straw that broke the fucking camel's back, man.
Yeah.
This moron just blundered his way. He was the first Boris Johnson. He was just...
Yeah.
And capitalized off it, too. Yeah. Had books of Bushisms and bullshit, and people were like, look at the buffoon. I'm like, who do you think signed off on all that shit?
It's when our nationalism with the Patriot Act went on, like, off the charts.
And here we go. Here we go.
Incoming beaver
first, Three Bears says, honestly, some people cannot be allowed to be with the rest of us.
You see, Texas is a great buffer between us, and we can have the immigrants come in and hang out in Texas while we figure out where they can go safely, we can take the fucking Republicans and put them in Texas.
I mean, that's too for me, that's too binary of a line.
I know it's too binary.
But like,
give them a choice.
Right.
Give them.
That's a little fascist.
I know, right?
A little fascist. But here's a solution that's more in the style of America, right? This is more up our alley. Well, the first part is not so much. But like, first of all, Texas, the vast majority of it, technically belongs to Mexico, and they won it, and then we stole it. So it should belong to Mexico, but it should be a waypoint, that area of Mexicus Tex
Mexam.
Right, yeah. Mexus. I like Mexus.
Mexus, very future sounding.
Yeah,
it's very
Mexus.
Progressive.
Yeah.
Welcome to the Mexus.
Welcome to the Mexus. Yeah. MEXUS. Mexus. Yes, yeah. But so then in Mexus, right, you'd have the safety point for people who were trying to get away from, violence and crime and civil war and stuff and trying to get into America. And while we're working out your paperwork, you're in this little safe zone that's not like, oh yeah, we just put the kids in a safe place for a while and where they can live. And no. Really, like homes, temporary housing, but still homes that you live in and little neighborhoods.
Oh yeah, they're all taken care of. Everything's actually really nice. The government is really taking care of it really well.
Also,
healthcare is taken care of. They get all the stuff the Dems
and
want.
Here's why: because we do like a Nazi thing, right? Where we go back retroactively and we try all these fucking racist assholes who are part of all these programs that put all these people in cages in the first place, and we put those people in a work camp in Mexis, and that's who keeps up the housing and all that stuff, and they do everything. They make clothes, they make food, and for free. They're just slaves now. They're just slaves of Mexis for their crime.
Yeah.
I mean, sorry. Prisoners and
indentured servants.
They're just serving a sentence. They're repaying their debt to society. Yeah.
Reintegration.
Yes. We're reintegrating them back into the labor force. And that way, when they get out of the labor camp, they can then just work for the labor camp.
They'll be happier.
Yeah.
I think they'll be happy.
Yep, they'll be happy. I mean, they won't be, but we won't care. Who cares? They're fucking prisoners. Fuck them, right?
Well,
they're dead to society. Fuck them. That's how they treat us.
I think everyone needs to be happy.
No, they don't. How often are you actually happy?
Yeah.
But okay. I also wanted to read this. We kind of read this, but Paul Jarrett, all caps, internet yelling, Beaver drops. That's a reference to the very, very funny end of the 3rd episode.
Yeah.
Where we went off on like a 25-30 minute tirade about the Great Beaver Drop of 1948. We can't take it back there today, but that was a lot of fun.
Which I thought was not a real thing. It turns out it's a totally fucking
very real. It's very real.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Beaver deployment is still a real thing.
Yeah.
We are still deploying beavers.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Military beavers.
Yeah.
Armed beavers. Science beavers. We are dropping beavers all over the world. Okay.
Yeah.
So
they're like the vaccine. Have you seen the fucking vaccine mascots? Oh my god, these different places. These
vaccine mascots?
I forgot all about that.
What the fuck?
There's all these different places around the country that are hiring these vaccine mascots, and one of them chose literally. I mean, who did? I think John Oliver did a skit about this. So another comedian, whatever. But yeah, they're fucking hilarious. Like
that's really funny.
It's and they're choosing like the cheapest, horrible mask,
the goat one that scared the kids and shit. And then they like double down. They're like, "Well, this isn't for 3 and 4 year olds." It's like, no, motherfucker, that's scary to me. Like I'm in my mid-30s, and that's terrifying to me.
They've got like these people walking with them because you can't see out of the mask. They got one of the cheapest piece of shit masks.
Yeah. So Paul says, "Man, the white supremacists did a number on Boulder, right? I had that sitting here.
What did you think it was a black person in Boulder, Colorado, who did the shooting?
Well, wait a minute. I read that it was
only white people in Boulder.
No, I meant it. Well, I mean that is true. I've got a bit about that actually.
I mean,
I
was thinking to myself. Melissa and I were talking. We were just like. She said something like, "Yeah, they didn't say anything about the race of the shooter." I was like, "What do you mean?"
No, I think
we know the race.
I think he's Middle Eastern. I think he's Arab. Yeah. They did.
Really?
I remember I was saying earlier before we they got a suspect.
Hey, I could be wrong.
Suspect charged with 10 counts. Here, let's bring it up. Suspect, and because this is CNN, says, suspect in Colorado grocery store shooting faces 10 counts of murder, police say.
Mm-hmm.
The 21-year-old suspect in Monday's massacre at Colorado supermarket, which left 10 dead, including a store manager and a police officer, faces 10 counts of murder in the first degree.
Mm-hmm.
Ahmad Al-Aliwi Alissa. So, yeah.
But that's just the name. He could be American, but he's not likely to be a white.
He could be a white guy who took a...
He's not likely to be.
I mean, unless he's like a Muslim convert, they take Muslim names.
Yeah, the myth of it could never happen here is some YouTube bullshit. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, you're not. Yeah.
So this guy
we got a gun problem.
Accused of opening fire Monday afternoon
we have a mental health problem.
The King's Superstore in the University City of Boulder, killing people ranging in age from 20 to 65. Man, he went Ramirez on him, just taking everybody out. Old ladies, fucking little kids, anybody.
Right. Yeah, that's what I was just saying, Three Bears. That's what I was just saying about, basically about Meghan McCain. It's like, what did it really take 8 more deaths when everyone is going, hey, this rhetoric is dangerous, it leads to people dying, and then they're like, no, it doesn't, y'all need to just chill out, you little snowflakes. And it's like, all right. And then 8 people die. And so, yeah, you're right. How many people does it take,
Man, I would argue that a murder in every county in the U.S. still wouldn't wake people up.
No, it wouldn't.
Because
everyone said they were doing it in the name of,
right,
and like took ownership.
Well, because we've got all these narratives that people are attached to. American culture is really good at externalizing. We do it in business, and we do it in relationships.
Yeah, we export everything.
That's not my problem. That's your problem.
That's right.
That's not. I didn't do that. You did that. Well, if you hadn't have done this, then I wouldn't have had to do that.
Right.
I only had to do this because we blame everything on everybody else. It's another country's problem. It's that other person there that did it. It's because of the because of the people in this party. Whatever. Right, yeah, that's not my department.
That was a previous group that did that. We are not representatives of that group. That was the past administration.
Right. Paul said Chicago every weekend doesn't wake anyone up. Right. Yeah. Chicago, D.C., Detroit, Atlanta, fucking Miami, L.A. every weekend doesn't wake anybody up.
Right. Right. That's 18 people just in the last like 5 days.
No, and you know, people are. I think Three Bears made a reference to you know, gun control laws here. Here's the thing. Here's the thing about that. This is just the truth. Is we're never going to see, like, whether you agree with gun control laws or not, we're not going to see gun control laws get more restrictive until somebody who is a real threat to the status quo, it uses them wields them in a way that makes those
like
people uncomfortable. Like the Black Panthers.
That was one of the last times we saw real major gun control.
It was the first and last time.
Yeah.
There were no gun control laws before black people said, we're going to defend ourselves from the police.
That's right.
And
look at what major cities have the most strictest gun laws, like New York.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah. Heavy black population.
Right. Paul says all gun control is racist. I agree. I absolutely agree. And it's why it's why there's a split in the black community about gun control. And it's a place where black people split with white liberals, where a lot of us are not for it. Because we understand the far-reaching implications of that. You know, it's the same reason why we're quick to distrust the institution of the police more, because we have the cultural and racial memory of what the police were at first.
Yeah.
There were no police until there were slave catchers.
Yeah, right.
And then once the slaves got free, we said we need somebody to put them slaves back in jail. And then you get the police. So, you know, when people are like, well, but see, the police is no, fuck that. Fuck you. Fuck that. They invented it to hunt us. And that's still what they do. Hunt us. So, you know, whatever. Three Bears said, drives me nuts when people are like, I never thought it could happen here. Like, bruh.
Yeah.
Yeah, it can happen anywhere. And, yeah, Paul says open carry states have far less shootings. Yeah, but I don't know. I don't agree with open carry. I think open carry is stupid.
They're also less populated.
Yeah, exactly. That's also true.
They're also less popular.
And less diverse.
So there are some good countries like Sweden, I maintain, and I think Norway is another one, that have strict gun codes and have a culture of teaching their kids when they're young of how to respect them, and they have competitions and they do all this thing, and they have very few limited, if to zero to small handfuls of issues in their country with murders by guns or mass shootings. They have like no mass shootings.
Right.
So it's definitely not just the gun, right? We have a mental health and a cultural problem.
Right.
You know, we have cultural and mental health problems.
Sure. Yeah. Well, I mean, and just my opinion specifically for the open carry thing is it changes the vibe in the room when you can see everybody's guns. Because I mean, think about like.
I can't tell whether you're for.
I'm not in favor of open carry.
Right.
I think it's provoking.
Let me ask you this. So in Georgia, you can open carry without a license. You don't need a license.
That's so fucking stupid.
But if you want to conceal it, you have to have a concealed weapons permit.
Yeah.
So are you comfortable telling people to go to the government to get permission to carry the gun concealed? Or are you fine with everyone, no matter what, if you want to have a gun concealed, you don't need a permit or a license or anything, you can just do it?
No, I think that should be known. You know, like I think that's a good idea to have people licensed and registered to be able to carry like that, especially concealed carries permit. That makes sense to me.
So this is where it conflicts with the Second Amendment, where just being born an American citizen and being on U.S. territory, unless you have some other disqualifying thing like a felon or something like that, your inherent right as being born is that you can carry a gun, right? And it shouldn't matter whether it's on the outside or on the inside. If you put it under your clothes, it shouldn't make a big difference whether you know what I'm saying, in terms of you going to the government to get permission.
Here's my thing with
you have
that.
An inherent right under the Second Amendment.
Here's my thing about that, right? The same people who wrote that also thought they had an inherent right to own my ass, so they weren't right about everything. Some shit should just be reimagined because it was written 300 years ago. I'm going to address a couple of these things in the chat here. Paul said, have either of you ever shot a gun? I have not. I have held them. I've been shown how to operate them. I haven't actually fired one.
I own multiple guns and have shot many a time.
Three Bear says, "Don't say Sweden too many times, though. You might sound like that dude from the Anarchist Cookbook." Oh man, it's been so long. Since I read those, I don't even remember.
Yeah, I totally get it. That there's like definitely some. You can't compare directly like that. That's not a fair argument to compare cross culture like that. It just doesn't always work.
He went on to say, the logical or open or concealed makes no sense to me. If it's concealed, why do you need a license? How is anyone going to know you have it? How does that come into play unless you use it, which would get you in trouble anyway, unless you're white?
Right. That was the question that I always had, was like, unless I accident, and then and then there's a law for what happens if you have it concealed and all of a sudden you bend over at the grocery store and somebody sees your gun. It's considered brandishing a weapon, and if you technically have to sign saying that you understand the laws and blah blah blah. So. Yeah, that's how you get in trouble. Is like right. So it's real interesting. It's a gray area when a cop walks up and says, "Hey, we got a complaint, or somebody said that they saw you brandish a weapon," you know, and you're like, "Yeah, but I don't have a concealed weapons permit," right? So you would have to give permission to the cop to search you,
right?
Otherwise, I don't know how they have legal rights to search you just on a hearsay complaint.
Well, it depends
on a gun.
But you know, a hearsay complaint counts as probable cause. People don't realize that.
It counts. It's called reasonable suspicion.
Reasonable suspicion, right?
Probable cause is the next layer.
Right.
Reasonable suspicion to engage and ask questions is where you've gotten. Probable cause is when they actually have the ability to put you in handcuffs and and like search you and stuff like that. Right.
Well, but it's like there's certain things where it's like if I mean this is like different now, but it's like if somebody calls the police and says that, you know, your car smelled like weed on the highway or something like that. That's probable cause. They can pull you over and search you. They can be like, "We got a complaint. We can search you for that. We got to search the vehicle."
Yes.
So there's
stuff
some
like that, and
gray area.
that's all. And that's one where like hopefully a good lawyer will get you out of that shit, because like, you know, because it could be a different car that smells that way. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, so okay. And there's a good point to the contrary argument, right, or the argument against concealed carry permits that I hadn't really considered. And you know, hey, I'm willing to be wrong a lot. And it's quite likely that a lot of those rules are just invented to trip people up and give them an excuse to make it harder for disenfranchised and definitely black people to even have them legally and be able to, you know, to be able to lock them up for, you know, little no reason bullshit causes. So yeah, I get that too.
Yeah. Right, because you can take guns away. I think this is an interesting, you know. So everything is just kind of on an honor-based system in our society. Reading.
This is what Three Bear says. Three Bear says everything is so honor system based though. Like there's just no perfect scenario when it comes to cops, gun permits, and the general public. And you know, I was going kind of in that direction of like when we start talking about these laws and which ones work and what's the best form.
This gun versus that gun needs to be illegal.
Well, what I always get back to is that like, well, we're talking about how to fix the facade of a house without a foundation. Like, you know what I mean?
Right.
We came in, knocked over the building that had been standing here for thousands of years. Yeah. You destroyed the foundation in the process, and then threw up a stucco piece of shit on top of it. Yeah. You know, put some window dressings up and said, "We're open for business," and then we've just been band-aiding the thing ever since. Yeah. So, you know, we have a legal system that is designed from the base up to disenfranchise certain people, to disempower certain people, to make some people more likely to become imprisoned so that they're part of the free labor system and out of society and all that stuff.
Yep.
And, you know, so we have to remember that, like, everything we build from or build to from there is still going to have that as its base. So it's still going to be flawed because there's a fundamental corruption in the way that our system works. There's this inequality baked into the very fabric of it.
Definitely. And, you know, even if you were to outlaw guns, I mean, it's only going to take a little bit of thought and innovation and some money invested, and you're going to find another set of weapons are going to come out that are going to be fucking dangerous.
Or just people will figure out different ways to get their hands on guns, like 3D print them.
I think that's kind of what I'm saying, is that people will find a workaround.
Yeah.
No matter how you word it in the laws.
They'll get them whatever. They'll find a way.
Yeah.
They'll find a way.
So I still maintain it's a societal fucking mental health issue. I mean, we don't have enough support in our country to deal with how much mental health issues we're dealing with, and a lot of this racism is coming from fear, which is all a deep mental health issue.
Right. Yeah. You know? Yeah. You could position it that way. Well, and then
in a culture that insulates all of that masculine
and not just
fucking, you know, stuff.
Well, not just insulates it, but exacerbates it too.
Sure,
right.
Sure.
So
yeah, right.
You know, like, look at this guy who shot up these Asian spas. That shot up these spas right here in Atlanta. And you know, for people not from or familiar with Atlanta has a very large Asian population. They're a big part of the culture here.
Big.
You notice it, you feel it. There are pho restaurants everywhere. Yeah, Vietnamese everywhere. Japanese everywhere. Korean food everywhere. Chinese food everywhere.
Yeah, not American Chinese food, like real
like Chinese
food. Like you have to ask for an English menu.
Yes. Yes. And then they're like, "Oh, it's one of you." And then they're like, "All right, here's the stupid
the stuff
bullshit
we make for the Americans."
Right. Yeah.
And you're like, "Please, can I try the real stuff?" And they're like, "Okay, we'll give you some real stuff."
Yeah. But not only that, I mean, there's a whole Asian bar and club scene too. Like, I mean, there are like for real, like Korean karaoke bars where you have a private room and your own little thing. Like, and it's, you know.
They take it seriously. I mean, it's a real. I mean, it's really not a joke. It's like you go and have a good time.
Yeah, that's like how you party. Yeah, right. Exactly, with your friends, sing with your friends and pick songs and whatever.
Yep.
You know, so just it's a very, and not just, you know, East Asian, but there's big Indian population here, and you know, and near Asian population. So, you know, this is a huge blow to Atlanta. It's big, and we really feel it in this city.
Yep.
And you know, this fucking guy who did this shit, this kid. Do we have a picture of this fucking asshole?
Yeah, we do.
But this is what I'm talking about, right? Like, this kid is clearly mentally ill to begin with. And first of all, like this shit, and I know it's been several days now by the time this episode comes out on look at this, like this guy looks like
motherfucker.
He looks like Phil Anselmo with Down syndrome. Like,
God, look at this, like,
you know what I'm saying? Look at that, like, okay.
Like, dude, come on. Like, I'm feeling insecure about the patchiness of my beard sometimes. This guy.
I was about to say, when
like,
you're
dude, you're not ready for the beard,
it's chin
man.
pubes,
like,
but when your beard actually looks like he's
not ready.
He looks like he glued his pubes to his face.
Yeah, that's what that
to try to look tough.
That's right. I think you might. It actually is ironically the exact same length as his hair, so it really just might be. You know, he like crimped it. You know, he like glued it on and then crimped it.
It's his pubes. It's his pubes.
Those are some long pubes.
I mean, that guy looks like he doesn't take care of his shit. You know what I mean?
Got this, like flock of seagulls haircut going on.
He looks like a fat Edward Furlong from American History X. You know,
Edward Furlong.
Yeah. The kid from Terminator 2. He played the brother in American History X.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. this fucking and this is an unfortunate thing about Atlanta, right? Is like, you have the urban part, you have the cool culture, and then you have fucking hick-faced dickbags like this asshole.
Yeah, fuck this guy.
Who's like, I'm tired of these fucking Chinese people in my fucking city. Look, hey, we're tired of y'all ass in this fucking city, man. Give it back to, look, this should be black people's city anyway. We should own this motherfucker after what y'all have
I'm taking him away.
done to us to get us here. And then once you did to us, once you dropped us off here in Georgia, That's just say that on like black people should just have that little bumper like they have at the end of some Adult Swim shows, it's made in Georgia. Like all fucking black people,
right?
Black Americanism as a whole, made in Georgia.
That would be cool.
Just that should be reparations. Just look once again, I'm solving reparations. Just give us Georgia. Just and
all future royalties
of Georgia. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah. The tax credits, we get a piece of that. Look, honestly, look, if you just gave black people in America shared ownership, shared exclusive ownership of the state of Georgia, and then said, hey, you guys get to decide if these redneck fucks get to live here. Yeah, like I'm good with that. Yeah. I mean, there also need to be a check and some shit involved with it. But seriously, like we just own the state. You know what I mean? We just own all the land here, and we run shit.
I think I'm good with that.
Yeah, and because look, man, there's too much good shit happening in this city for people like this little bitch to come and ruin it, and then the shit. The way they're talking about this guy in the news still, and like, dude, I want to slap the police officer that was talking about, and see what happened. Well, what happened was that, he's a stressed out guy. Yeah. He's real stressed out, got some anger issues, you know how it is. He's got some anger aimed about him, and he's just having trouble getting some. He's just having.
Yeah. He's worried about his sex addiction.
He's striking out,
which is quite noble.
He's watching too much Asian porn.
It's noble that he's discovering that he has an issue. He's working on it.
He was having a bad day. He was tired of the blur. He just said, I can't stand the blurred out genitals no more. I got to see some real shit. Woo-hoo. And then them damn little Asian bitches wouldn't show it to him.
It's the blur.
They wouldn't show him their sideways vaginas. They got sideways vaginas, right?
Oh.
You know that, right? That's real. That's real. My granddaddy married one of them.
That's pretty.
One of them Vietnamese. He told me.
That's pretty racist.
That's the type of stupid shit they believe.
I know, it's horrible.
But that shit where they're playing down the racism. This wasn't about. Then there's all these fucking white people online like this wasn't about race. I don't understand. You're making it about race. How come people of color always have to make everything about race? It wasn't about. He shot 10 Asian people.
Witnesses.
He went to Asian massage parlors and shot specifically, exclusively Asian people.
Asian females, yeah.
Mostly Asian women.
Yeah.
And so, don't give me that shit about, like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Yeah. Three Bear says, my only question with that situation was, so can I have a bad day at the KKK rally, or would that be...
that so much.
That's what I'm saying. Look.
Well, I just had a bad day. I took out a few fucking... I
don't get to have bad days like that. That's a death sentence for my ass. Fuck that shit. And look, and I've said that shit to even some people on the left who are like, well, if we're mistreated, we have the right to say whatever we want, and you have to be canceled, and you should be, and fuck people like you, because you should be treated as inhuman, and you're a child, and you should be expelled from the society. And I'm like, look, that's fine. Maybe you're you're vindicated or whatever. Sure, you be right all you want, but let me ask you this: you think if a police officer pulled me over or stopped me, I was walking down the street unfairly, and I started flipping my shit, you fucking racist asshole, you piece of fucking shit, you're canceled, you think I would be alive right now?
Nope.
So I don't want to hear that privilege shit. I don't give a fuck. It is bestowed upon you the responsibility to behave like an adult if you are one, just because you're part of a marginalized group. And honestly, some of y'all white people calling that, I'm side-eyeing your ass. Not all of you, but some of you.
Most of y'all are not part of fucking marginalized
Yeah,
groups.
you found a catchy phrase to be like, me too, I'm special too.
Nope.
Me too.
Yeah,
no.
Sit down, you fucking shaman.
Sit the fuck right.
Sit the fuck down, shaman.
Exactly. Sit the fuck down, Q shaman.
Yeah.
Well, I'm marginalized because they took that's not my president. They took away my, well, really the white man right now, well, it was a white straight cis man. We're under attack right now. Yeah. Sit the fuck down. Sit your ugly fucking sit your ugly ass, mountain faced ass the fuck down. Put some more makeup on and cover up that sagging fucking it looks like his jeans are receding into his fucking bones. Like his features are just melting into it,
Yeah, his face looked like Ted Cruz coming back from Mexico with that fucking Texas mask on, and it's just like blue and red, just blue and red.
Yeah, right. He looks like Dale from King of the Hill. Right, he is Dale from Kingdom. My real name is Rusty Shackelford.
Oh, that dog.
I'm telling you, they're stealing the election, Hank. They're following me, Hank.
That guy, yeah.
Yeah, he's fucking
sweet.
Rusty over there.
Old Rusty.
That's what I'm calling old Rusty. That's his name now. Q Shaman is old Rusty. He looks rusty. You notice that? He looked like sweaty and rusty at the same time. Like, I don't know how he got rust on his skin.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a pretty rusty crowd of people.
I'll tell you what, he's going to feel pretty rusty if they ever let his ass in Gen Pop.
Oh, God.
That's what I'd like to see. Just show me
the white
show me
supremacist
some
groups
video.
Are gonna pick him up.
Oh, the brother's going to find his ass. No, they're going to get to him.
Yeah, but the Klan and the white supremacist groups they're deep in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's pretty evenly matched as far as I understand. Like,
you know how many more black people there are in jail? In prison?
That's true. Yeah,
get the fuck out of here.
God damn it, you're right.
Fuck a Nazi in prison. I'll stab a Nazi in prison up. I'll shank the shit out that motherfucker.
See, y'all fucked up.
Me and 10 niggas, we stabbing your ass. Fuck that. Give a fuck.
That reminds me of like.
Well, I've got the brotherhood. Yeah, well, I got the brothers from the hood. So.
Right.
So come on with it, man. Fuck that. I would love to see that. That's a pay-per-view video I'll pay for. Put that shit on HBO like they did with Connor McFuckface racist ass Gregor and
the racist goes to jail. Season 1.
But just make it like a cage match. It's just him and 20 black dudes in Gen Pop
in the yard.
And just in the yard and just see, you know what I mean? Make it a game too. Give it rounds. So where he just has to run from him. Let's see. Put him in his outfit. Give him like a wrestling outfit with his fucking makeup. He'll look like the Ultimate Warrior, right? But with no muscles or skills. play the old Hulk Hogan music. He is a real American. Play that honky tonk redneck ass fucking song.
I love the wrestling.
You don't remember that song?
No.
Oh man, when he'd rip his fucking shirt open, he's a real American. He'd be waving a fucking flag.
Yeah. So did Hacksaw Jim Duggan. Remember that?
They all, Well, remember it was the 80s, so all the good guys were these white dudes who would beat up Middle Eastern guys and fucking black dudes. They're like, you ain't gonna take over you ain't taking my job.
Taking our job.
Yeah, man. And now that has proliferated into this fucking degenerative,
Stop it.
Yep, you're right. I was starting to do it. We're implementing a program to what we're doing is
Let's electrify it.
We're hook it up.
It's a shock mic.
Shock it every time I touch it. I get nervous.
That's good stuff.
Also, it's like this mic is naturally just real hot, so sometimes like I'll lean in and then I feel like I'm too close to it, so I try to like move it with myself. But this is not the right stand to do that on. It's too many moving parts. I don't like it. But yeah, man, this kid had a bad day. He had a bad day. Like, look, man, the last time I had a bad day, the only thing I shot down was my future, right? Like, come on.
A load all over the fucking table.
Right? Yeah, and that was a good day.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, sparkling water. You want one?
Oh yes, please. Also, so yeah, we moved on from racist people now to sexist people. So the NCAA is sexist, and man, like how many more like sports organizations like read the room, like. And I hate this term now because trendy people have abused it, but y'all are so tone deaf, just all of you. Man, so to give you guys a story, man, the NCAA...
Rappers are making you look bad.
Right? Like rappers
Dude, I've been super impressed by some of the fucking rappers on Twitter lately.
Like rappers are making y'all look progressive. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
They're like, hey, NCAA, y'all need to be nicer to these bitches and hoes, dog. You ain't treating these bitches with enough respect, man. put some respect on a hoe.
I mean, that hoe with a dick fine as hell. She cool. You know? Like, damn, man. What happened?
And it's like, yo, NCAA, you're basically the last remaining American slave trade aside from the prison industrial complex. And it's like, you didn't think you were going to get called out and raked over the coals for not giving the women a gym? Like, they didn't have, I don't know if y'all saw this, they didn't have a gym. They're like, this is our gym, and it was like one of those little weight racks for like your basement. And just the curl weights, just the little mini weight, like the ones that you have in a hot yoga class. You know what I mean? Where they're like, here's some little bitch ass 2-pound weights, so that you actually kind of use your muscles while you're stretching. Like that's all they fucking gave them.
No, they were horrible.
These women play fucking basketball. Basketball is a full contact sport. People think that it's like not as tough as football, and like, yeah, you're not running head on into people because the people who invented basketball weren't cruel idiots.
Yeah.
Or maybe they were. I don't know. Maybe it was just like, you know. Excuse me. I mean, dunking wasn't legal in the game at first, and that's clearly racist, right? That's clearly what that was. Because Dr. J could do it, and none of the white guys could do it, so they're like, that's a foul. That's a foul. No, man, those shorts are a foul. Pull them shits down. What the fuck are you doing? I can see your balls, man.
Some of them were dangerously short in that respect.
Oh, there's definitely some ball slip shots.
Are there really?
NBA. Oh, yeah. There's some great ball slip moments in history. Oh, dude. Shit. There's definitely... I mean, now they wear, like, shit to kind of hold the balls in, but they didn't used to, and they wore these tiny little shorts. They didn't wear the compression shorts under them, and it was just... Sometimes dudes would just get ball sacks to the face, man. That shit happens. Balls in the face. And that's why I always say sports are gay. They're really gay. They are. American, like, manly sports, football especially.
I mean,
football
having
participated, is the gayest.
There's a very strong,
it's so gay,
homoerotic,
it's like
element to it, for sure.
I mean, if you think about it, like, okay, it's
just American denial.
There are two kinds of there are two types of guys who play football. You got the butch guys and bears. That's who plays football, right? And so if you think about, let's just fucking ripped dudes. Ripped, jacked, butch guys,
all right,
and fucking meaty bears in spandex, right? Just fucking piling into each other, just over and over again. They just keep ramming into each other. Yeah. It's just this. It's just this for an hour. Let's see how many ways we can climb on top of each other and try to tackle each other. Here, you run with this ball, and I'm going to chase you from behind and try to grab you around the waist and fall on top of you with my face in your butt. And we're just going to do that until one of us wins. You got to work out them homo urges somehow. I'm saying, dude, I have this thing that I say where I say, dude.
We all got them.
Where I say that, like, and I, again, not to, like, just put it all on white people, but, yo, white straight dudes are the gayest. like machismo straight dudes.
Oh, okay.
The gayest. It's a whole culture of like, how much gay shit can I do to you in the name of not being gay? You know? I mean, think about sports. They just fucking, hey, good job. Pat you on the ass. I remember the first time a grown man patted my child ass in a game, and I was like, "Mom, he hit me on the ass," and she was like, "That's guys do that in sports. It's like a good job thing." I'm like, "So he's not." He's not touching me, and she's like, "I mean, I don't think so, but if it's just a pat, that's like a good job." And I'm like, and like, you know, I didn't grow up with a dad or brothers in the house. I'm just like, I don't fucking. That seems gay as shit. Like, why would you do that?
Who was it that was explaining like it's okay if you keep the hand straight, but if you cup the hand, that's when it gets. That's where the line is.
There's all sorts of weird fucking rules about like, if you do it this way, then it's fucking gay. But if not, let's.
So this kind of. So I think that honestly, this is the stuff that I think about when you bring up, like when we make things okay, like when the guy kills a bunch of Asian women and he blames it on his sexual urges. And as if women are responsible.
What the fuck are we talking about?
Yeah, there's this narrative that, you know, women are needing to cover up because men cannot resist their urges.
Right.
And I think that really plays into this same kind of narrative. I think they're very much linked up, just that there's these cultural excuses for people to participate in a way that really we are not actually cool with, but we've been allowing it to keep going on with these shifty reasons why it's okay here and there, and then we wonder why all of that's like why we're still getting all these other major psychological and trauma issues, and why these boys aren't speaking up when they actually are having sexual assault stuff, because they've been told that, oh, there's all these nuanced places that it's okay, but really they're experiencing sexual assault.
Yeah, totally. It's like, oh man, I mean, dude, teenagedom for boys is just hazing and light sexual assault all the time. Yeah, that's what it, and you basically like have to just come to accept it, and like really learn to give it back, almost for acceptance survive. And survival. Yeah, to be like part of the man clan, and it's fucking bullshit. Three Bears that said right, because once you actually discuss it, then it's too far. Yeah. That's like,
you can't talk about it.
That's the weird thing now, right? Is like we have like simultaneously this push for like visibility, right? Specifically with like in regards to gender and sexuality expression. There's this big push for visibility, but at the same time, there seems to be a resistance toward fluidity. And I don't mean like people that are like identify as gender fluid, but like the in-betweens, the people who are, you know, like,
we're all in between.
We're all in between. But we're still like, but we're still pushing those narratives as if it's like, you know, all black or white or all one thing or another, you know,
monolithic.
These monolithic understandings of masculine and feminine roles and behavior and all that stuff. Right. Yeah. He says right, and then Three Bear says right, and then you have dudes defending their fucked up raising like it was good for them, so deal with it. Yeah. And Three Bears, I saw that on Instagram, I think you posted, there was a clip of this young guy, and I'm gonna admit that I was kind of like, man, I agree with this guy, but if he could just tone down the just a little bit, he might be able to sell his point a little bit better. You know, this guy's like, he's speaking like this, and he's wearing a pastel pink shirt, and there's just too much violence and boy. But he was making this good point about how the only language men are given to express themselves, and the only measurement they're given to qualify themselves and value themselves is violence and denial and aggression. Right. So it's the only measuring stick by which to assess your own worth as a member of society. So no wonder you get people like this kid, this 21-year-old who thinks, oh, here's how I'm going to do a good thing, is I'm going to go eradicate all these people.
Yeah, exactly.
And then you have, the whole society around him, or at least a major part, his whole society around him, his whole world, his whole social group going, yeah, this is what the problem is. It's these people, it's this country, it's this idea, it's this culture.
Right.
And, and honestly, the left isn't too much better, where it's like, man, we all have internal work to do to make things better.
Yeah.
Oh, right. And this is what I was talking about. Yes, Three Bear said, and then this dude I know came in like, I disagree with this rhetoric, talking all fancy like he ain't part of the problem. I know him. He is... He's a fruit cup. Or a rainbow saucer. I don't know. Yeah.
Pride LGBT.
Oh, okay.
TEA.
LGBT.
LGBT.
I mean, yeah, and it was weird because this person that was talking to him was like, no, that's necessary. You got to be violent. And I grew up in a tough area, and you needed violence to make it through, and that's how, and everyone that I grew up with is successful. Well, it's like, okay, but successful by which marker? Are they successful because what? They made a lot of money?
Yeah, right.
Was it successful because they dominated everyone around them? Like, I mean, yeah, I honestly, I needed defense and, violence to some degree to protect myself from the violence and evil of other people. And absolutely, there's something to be said for, yeah, I'm not necessarily a turn the other. Someone slaps you in one cheek, don't turn the other cheek. Grab their hand and say, hit me again and find out what happens.
Yeah, right.
Right? Because that's how you survive in the world, right? And that's how I learned to be, absolutely. But, still, that doesn't mean it's a solution in and of itself. It's not an end unto itself. Sure. It's it's a language, and unfortunately some people only speak that language, but it's a language that only leads to one resolution ultimately. And yeah, it's crazy that people will. Yeah, Three Bear says that dude is obsessed with MMA, can't keep a girlfriend, wears a cowboy hat, and has money.
Yeah,
sounds like a dick.
Yeah, sounds like an arrogant fucking owns
sounds
the
like
world.
A dick.
Yeah.
And yeah, I bet can't keep a girlfriend, because who wants to be with somebody who the only language they speak is domination and control? Because that's what violence is. It's, I don't know a way to work this problem out, so I'm going to dominate and control the situation. And yeah, and people are doing that. That's becoming more popular, I feel like, whether it's done with language, or it's done with threats, or it's done with actual violence, or it's done with institutionalized violence.
Yeah.
And it's happening all over the place. And we're resorting to this bailout faster and faster, and we're doing it all, on all counts.
Yeah.
And nothing against stuff like MMA. I mean, I very much dig martial arts, but that's the thing about a lot of people.
It's easier to blame the guns.
Yeah, right.
It's easier to blame the guns.
Well, that's the funny thing, right? Is there's two ways. Man, I know. Some gun owners that I know are some of the most responsible people about guns, and they take them the most seriously. Granted, there are also the people who are just like, I'm fucking afraid of everything, and everyone got to have my gun on me. Yeah. And they're, those people are creepy.
Yep.
And I often find those are the people who want to open carry. Those are the people who want to let everybody know, just in case.
Yeah, open carry is dangerous.
Yeah, I'm just like, yo, keep this crazy fucker out of here, man. Yeah. Man, you don't need to come into Starbucks with your rifle, buddy. It's cool, man. I think we're gonna make it through. I don't think we need you right now. But yeah, there's same thing with martial arts, man. There's something different about people who idolize it and glorify it as a blood sport with, when you actually meet people who practice jujitsu in a real way and respect it, it's like they're disciplined, they're friendly, they don't want to hurt other people.
Right.
Right,
that's right.
Three Bear says he's one of them dudes that got a phone with a USB-C port 4 years ago trying to be on that next shit at the cost of practically practically always asking me for a charger at my events. Like, bruh, it's okay. You don't have to win or beat everyone at everything. Right, but people like that do. That's all they understand. And that shit is creepy to me.
Yeah, life's a competition all the time.
Yeah.
If you're not winning, you're losing.
So yeah, people
if you can't tell that the other person is the loser, that means you're the loser.
Right.
So you have to go around validating that you're the winner and they are a loser. And it's not just, oh, I'm a winner. It's who was the loser.
Right.
They have to identify the loser and make sure they feel and look like a loser to validate that they're the winner.
Right.
So it's layered and it's fucked.
And Paul, we used to talk about this, man. We used to talk about, and we were talking about it yesterday.
Oh, sorry. It manifests in things like everybody. I hate it when they have the everybody gets a trophy thing. Only the winners get it. It manifests in those dog whistle type conversations.
And I was saying this the other day. These like complicated, complex, nuanced, well thought out whole philosophies about like really innocuous shit that people fucking hate. Yeah. I'm just like, okay, I got a friend like that. Well, I just fucking hate it when I see a movie and there's this and that, well, I just fucking hate it. That's just fucking stupid. And I'm like, okay, dude, like, all right, man, well, like, whatever. I'm just like, I just don't understand that whole devoting all that energy to like to having this whole justification around why you have the right to act ugly about or toward this thing or this person or this group or whatever. And it's a lot of people with stuff like that. I'm just like, all right, I mean, you could, you could like spend your time like dreaming up reasons why you have the right to be a dick, or you could like worry about your own shit.
True.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
Dude, did you smell that chicken that was cooking a while ago?
No.
Oh, man.
No.
I think we're gonna have some chicken for us when we get off here.
Chicken
just
sounds
a little bit.
I could go for some chicken.
Yeah. What did you have any other topics that you were that you had kind of queued up, or that you were?
I think that might have been.
I think we exhausted my little.
Yeah, I think I got
list of things. We brought in a couple other things I thought were fun to talk about.
Yeah, that was my list. That was it.
Oh yeah.
We talked about the shootings. We talked about the shootings. I'm sad that the shootings happened. We roast things and make fun of them here, but
yeah, I think we're just roasting the dude, not so much the situation.
Well, right. I just but I wanted to land on that and make sure that's clear. And this isn't an effort to make light of people dying or people losing people.
Yeah, no.
It's awful, man. And I've my whole life really tried to find something to laugh at, something to mock in the most horrible things, just to be able to help digest it.
Right.
To feel like I have a little bit of power, a little bit of agency. At least I can take some of the sting out of this thing for myself for a moment. So, we're trying to do that with some of these dangerous motherfuckers that are... Dude, these people got me scared, man. I said this on a previous episode, is that this is what it makes me think of for Asian people right now, is I'm like, you guys got to be feeling some of the shit that we feel, that black folks feel.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You guys got to be feeling some of that and especially during all this shit happening over the past summer and into this year, where when they're riled up, man, it gets scary. It gets scary because they're like a powder keg, and they're just looking for a reason. Just give me a reason. And that's when and then you start seeing, and they communicate and they coordinate, and they're on and now they've got these
and then they're
other
following you in their
platforms
car with a camera and a shotgun, running down the road
because they're trying to get a win for their team.
Yeah, that's right.
And they think they're gonna show everybody. That's how this shit on the 6th happened, on January 6th, is they all thought they were gonna go out and show the world about how they got a win for their team.
Yeah, it's the revolution.
And
she's rubbing onions in her eyes.
Oh my god! It's a revolution. God.
1776.
I'm like, is it a revolution, really? Have you guys been training for this day for months?
Lost.
Did you coordinate this attack with fucking maps and strategists and shit? We have a headquarters you're going back to meet up after this demonstration that you clearly planned out so well. Fucking idiots.
You know, one of the Trump supporters was interviewed by Jordan Klepper, and he's got one of them on video, and they were talking about how they were just saying how emotional women are and how we can't have a female for president because they're more likely to start a war if it's like that time of the month. This is a female that's saying it. This is not a man. This is a right-wing female that is claiming that. And then Klepper goes, just to be clear, haven't all wars been started by men?
Right.
And she's like, well, you know, that's it. You know, there's just like, you know, there's no.
Oh, he catches nothing. He catches him slipping, man.
There's nothing.
He catches him slipping. You know, Jordan Klepper's great. Right. So Three Bears Gaming said. I
was kind of referencing that because of Three Bears' comment
what he said
about start
right, and then of course
every war and commit over half of all violent crimes despite being
outnumbered by women. Right? Yeah,
exactly.
Dude, I mean, I've said for a long time, I think men are emotional as shit.
Oh yeah, dude.
I think men are very emotionally fragile, and we're very sensitive, and you know, our egos are easily bruised, and
I think this is a cultural problem.
Yeah, well. I mean, I think it may just be that men are highly emotionally charged.
But that doesn't.
And we also, so are females. But I mean,
so are intersex. So are trans.
But I mean, I specifically notice with male behavior, there's a viscerality and physicality to emotion, right? Even doctors talk about this, how like a lot of times men will come in with just pains, and it turns out they're going through something emotional that's expressing in a physical pain, right?
Correct.
But then we have where it becomes cultural is we have this cultural doctrine of men don't express emotion because emotion is weak.
Yeah, right.
And
that's what I'm talking about.
So then those two things together, I think, blow up into this emotional volatility that I don't think is inborn. I don't think is natural, but it's been so far denied to where it's become, it's become warped. Three Bears says we're quite emotional. We just have a habit of overcorrecting it really quickly for fear of vulnerability. Yeah, and one thing I say about men in our society is we aren't given the tools to be vulnerable in each other's presence. That's not okay. We're not supposed to express,
right?
I'm feeling weakness right now. I'm feeling vulnerable.
Yeah, we don't have a support
like,
system.
No, yeah, definitely not in each other.
We don't have an outlet. We don't have appropriate outlets and appropriate support. And it's at a cultural level, because I think there are some cultures who do better at this than Western culture.
Sure, absolutely.
So there's evidence of some societies in the past where gender roles are quite different, and all of that should show you that a lot of it is very fluid, and that the way we've been going about it is just one way to go about it.
Just one way.
Just one way. And if it doesn't work, we can change that.
And so, I'm really in the middle with this kind of stuff too, right? Like, there's the camp of, there's like the extreme postmodern camp, and I even hesitate in saying postmodern because I think people like what's his name, Jordan Peterson. And like I don't hate him. I don't hate him.
I don't hate him either.
I think he's a smart guy.
Yeah.
I don't agree with everything he says.
Right.
He can be kind of a smarmy dick sometimes.
He's arrogant.
He's a little arrogant, and he can definitely be condescending. I think it would be in his best interest to knock that shit off. But for the purpose of this conversation, what I'm critiquing him for here is that I think he abuses the word and the concept postmodern in a way to kind of simplify and generalize the issue that he sees in society, right? And I don't think the issue is entirely wrong, but I think he misjudges postmodern ideals, right? The idea that institutions should be questioned no matter what, the idea that nothing should be set in stone in terms of social and cultural norms. I think that is a healthy thing, right? That they at least should all be re-examined and questioned regularly, that we shouldn't just keep doing a thing because we do a thing.
Right.
Well, they did it before, so we should do it again. Well, wait a minute. Is that beneficial?
Right.
But so there's that camp, right? There's the what Jordan Peterson would call the postmodernist camp, who are like, fuck any, there's no such thing as biological propensity. There's no such thing as inherited traits. There's no such thing as nature. There's only nurture.
Yeah.
And then there's the people that there's no such thing as nurture. There's only nature. Right? There's no such. Oh, that's bullshit. We shouldn't give up gender roles, and we shouldn't know all that stuff is genetic and it's all biological. I think it's in the middle. I think some of it is gender specific too. That there are differences between men and women. I mean, there's physiological differences, right? Yeah. Where we have greater bone density, we have more muscle mass, they have more fat, they have wider hips. There's different stuff that our bodies do because they're meant to do different things.
Sure.
Is that ubiquitous across the board? No, but it's but you could say it's the norm, or it's the average outcome, right? But then a lot of it is arbitrary stuff that we've come up with over time, or our understandings of our biological inclinations that we've then turned into traditions that we just do because we do.
Right.
And then we regurgitate them like they're scientific fact. Well, men are this and women are that. Well, glad you figured that out in 400 BC.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's when you don't have much information, it's a conclusion you can draw, but if you have more information, it's an antiquated idea.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I'm going to read these, and then I guess we're going to close out the actual podcast. We'll hang out for a little while on Twitch if anyone wants to hang out. But I'm going to read off the last couple of comments here. Three Bears says women generally feel like they can let it out more freely, so they appear to be more emotional. Right? Yeah, they express. They're allowed to express emotion. So then, and isn't that funny too? It's
we also project it onto them because of this same issue. Melissa and I had this conversation.
Well, you're just being emotional,
that. Right? Yeah,
When really it's like men being in denial.
It's actually gaslighting.
Right, gaslighting. Right.
It's
you're
actually
just
gaslighting.
Being emotional. You're crazy.
Exactly.
You're crazy. I know something's going on. I can feel it. What? You're crazy. Now I may think that.
It's like,
because for sure, women's intuition is a thing. Women can absolutely have they're like, right, oh my God, and then they're all laughing, and you're like, what? What happened? I don't know. Like, I definitely think there's, a women's intuition. Not that men aren't intuitive, but I think it's different. I've said, and this is just me making stuff up off the top, that if there is a, rationality versus emotionality, leaning, generally, I would put it in the sense of I think if there is such a thing, that maybe women are wired to process information through the emotional processes of the brain first, and then logic, and then men are kind of routed the opposite. But neither one of those is better. They're just different chains of processing information. I think they're both useful.
Sure.
Unfortunately, we're not taught to use one half of our process. We're just just read the data and then stop.
Right.
Well, can I interpret the data? No, that's for ladies. Are you a lady? Interpret, So then Three Bears went on to say, he said, men have sports, drugs, guns, faceless fuckholes, and you gotta love those faceless fuckholes. Sometimes those fuckholes are faces. That's fun too. Faceless fuckholes. Oh yeah, control of the entire world. What shall we ever do? Yeah, I know, right? What outlets do we have? What? I just don't feel like I've got enough leverage in this world as a man.
It's very sad.
And then Paul says, rock on! More caffeine! Always.
Cheers.
I'm
not letting.
Oh, I got the last sip here.
Well, this has been fun.
I have a couple sips. This coffee has been delicious.
Yeah, actually, it's been really good.
This is for a final note on this. Onyx, man, the southern weather, which we got some southern weather here today. It's it's a little sunny, a little dreary. That's that southern weather. No, man, Onyx southern weather. It's complex, but it's smooth. It's flavorful, but it's not
chocolatey. Not so fruity, but more chocolatey.
Yeah, I mean, there's hints of fruit. I definitely get you feel the citrus. You don't really taste it, but you feel it. I taste a little bit of the plum, but it blends with the chocolate. I definitely taste the walnuts.
Okay.
Yeah, I think this is the first one I've had where I'm like, oh no, I actually taste all the stuff you're saying in there.
Nice.
And I just really enjoyed it the whole way through.
when they do a cupping, it's definitely not left up just to the roaster. You can, they take a variety of people's feedback, and then they try to distill down what the consistencies are.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I'm over here laughing and shaking my head because Paul said, "Taste that walnut."
Taste the walnut.
Oh man, Paul always telling me to taste your walnut. Well, on that, this has been a fun episode.
Absolutely.
I'm just gonna go ahead and say it on the show. We've been talking about it for a minute. We've been communicating with Three Bears Gaming about having him be the guest on an upcoming show. Three Bears, what are you doing next week, man? You want to be on next week? We usually do the show Tuesday or Wednesday.
Yeah, usually.
Usually, I think we're gonna shoot for Wednesday.
Sure.
This week.
Yeah.
Is he still with us? Did he already leave? Taste that walnut. Arsenic tastes like walnut. On Tuesday, can do. All right.
Yeah, let's do it.
We'll dial it in for Tuesday then. Awesome, man.
Cool.
Again, I will talk to you probably early this evening when I get home. Or no, that's now. I'll talk to you tonight when I get home. Wednesday, I got a stream at 8 p.m. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
We'll probably do like a Zoom plug-in or something.
Yeah.
I imagine, right? Or,
we'll zoom in with you. So I'll hit you up tonight about doing that. I know you're versed in that.
Yeah, because we can always do Discord or something like that. I think Discord's pretty good.
Keep preaching that beaver truth. Thank you, Paul. We will keep preaching that beaver truth. Thank you for trying the light roast. I'm Damian Turner.
I'm Jason Jones.
Have a good night. And man, I ended that too fast. Look. We're going to do it again.
You're going to do it again?
We're going to do it again. Look, hey, for those of you who are watching on Twitch, hang out. We're going to hang out for a few more minutes. Although this may be one of the shorter ones because we're hungry and we're tired. If you're watching on YouTube, please, if you enjoy the show, please like and subscribe. That'll really help us out. Follow us on Twitter. You can follow us on Twitch. Follow me on Instagram. Follow him on Twitch. You can see that down here at the bottom. And you can also listen to us if you're listening. You listen to us anywhere podcasts are available. Shows usually go up on Friday. We're here live on Twitch every Tuesday or Wednesday. We promise eventually it will be a set schedule. I think that's everything I had. Also, if you're in Atlanta, come see me at the Laughing Skull this weekend. I will be there being crazy.
That's it.
That's all I got.
Nice.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Play that music.
Play it.